I never set my Instagram to post on Facebook, and it just started doing it.
Dude, the same thing happened to me. I'm serious. The same thing happened to me. I started posting like shorts from Ball Don't Lie on Facebook because it just started posting automatically. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like,
hey, what happened?
I posted on Instagram, and then I seen like I got a Facebook notification like it said Braxton commented on it.
Oh, wow.
And it's just like, but it's like, I was like, what the fuck is it on Facebook? Like,
Zuck in his bag.
Why is that nigga even on Facebook?
I saw the Threads things like connected to your Instagram too.
That's crazy.
I'm not making a Threads account because you can't delete your Instagram if you make it. Well, you can't delete your Threads account without deleting your Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if you make one and you're like, I'm not really messing with it, you can't delete it.
Yeah, but why would you delete your Threads?
Because I don't want another Twitter. I already have enough of Twitter.
Sorry,
X.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Oh, that's his ass.
They're not tweets anymore, they're posts.
Bro, what the hell?
Tweets.
Horrible marketing.
I'm gonna call Twitter until I die.
Yeah, but mine
when you do it,
updated.
No. When you look at my thing, hold on, fuck.
This is part of the pod at this point.
Oh my God.
We're not no intro today, bro. We're gonna start from there honestly because you should follow us on Twitter at Ball Don't Lie TV, by the way. If you want to keep up with us for all the lives and all that, and we'll retweet some funny shit. Well, me pretty much, but
he runs the account.
Yeah. There's not much to talk about, as you could see. We're just talking about whatever. But we do have a few games that I brought to the table. Also, NFL talk. We might start doing that a little more just because the NFL season is about to get underway. It's a lot to talk about.
Is this Thursday, Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, so. Hall of Fame game. We don't even know who the fuck's going to play, which running backs are going to show up. That's all a mystery every week.
But football is back, so.
Yeah, you want to get into that first? You want me to do my NBA stuff? You want to cover NFL and then move
you can do NFL talk. So, Justin Herbert signed the biggest contract in NFL history.
Yeah.
Do you think it was worth it, or do you think they paid him too much?
I'm not even gonna get into paying him too much. He needed he was gonna get the money. You can't not pay him the max money that you could pay him. He's a top 5 quarterback. He has one of the best arms in the league. You know, he could throw downfield effortlessly. And I think the only reason he's lacking success, I'm not saying he's blameless, but a lot of it is on the coaching staff and the medical staff, to be honest. They're always injured. So, Mike Williams can't stay healthy for a whole season. Keenan Allen's in and out. He's getting up there in age. Austin Eckler has a weird situation with his contract, too. The whole thing with Tyrod Taylor.
He never stays healthy, too. Both of the brothers
what's that dude they signed? Derwin James, first of all, never stays healthy. But J.C. Jackson, they signed him. He was bad, and he also got hurt.
Yeah.
So their team is just the team they put around him. It seems like they should be good, but they just can't put it together. Brandon Staley loves to go for it on 4th down, and they lose a lot of games like that. But yet, still saying all that, they won 10 games last year. Bad playoff experience, but blowing a 27-point lead. But I think he's not the problem.
Tough division.
Yeah.
Also.
So you got to pay him. You got to do something about the coaches and everything else. I think.
I think hopefully this year they'll stay healthy. I do think it's a bit overrated, but I mean at this day and age, you have to pay the quarterbacks because it's so minimal of how good top level quarterbacks are. If you don't pay him and he walks, your franchise goes back 10 years, basically, because of his talent and the level of upside that he does bring to the table. So, and it's not even his fault that they're losing. It's like you said, the coach, them not staying healthy, the defense not staying healthy. That's a big part of it. And if they do stay healthy, I think the team's upside is pretty high and they can contend with the Chiefs. And I don't think the Chiefs are going to repeat. So hopefully they can possibly win the division.
I think Chiefs still winning the division, but
compete. So because the Raiders
they'll still get 10 wins. They're not going to be much below them, but I think Chiefs are probably going to be first. They're going to with Mahomes, but I think you could be right there, 11, 10 wins. 13 wins for the Chiefs. It should be close.
Yeah. You just want to compete with them at that point because the Raiders or Broncos aren't going to either.
They didn't change the divisions.
Oh yeah,
it's just mad confusing.
You've seen that where they're the way they're structured is not how they're supposed to be laid out.
It's so random.
Jacksonville.
I'm sitting here thinking
why the Florida teams are in different divisions. Why does that make any sense?
I'm sitting here thinking why are the Chargers playing? Why in the same division as the Chiefs?
But not the Rams. What the fuck? They're in a complete different conference than the Rams.
That's why basketball is a little bit better with how they conference stuff. Because everyone's closer to each other, so traveling isn't as bad. But you only travel once a week for football.
Basketball divisions used to matter too. It used to be the top 4 seeds were the top 4 divisions.
Yeah, in 2019, I think I saw where the Trailblazers are a higher seed than somebody else.
I think it was 2019. It was
2015 or something.
Yeah, it was around that.
Yeah, I didn't even peep that, but now I know.
They used to be like that, yeah. So that's how the NFL does it. If you win a division, don't even matter your record, you make the playoffs. And it's the same thing with the NBA. It was There was a year where I think in the Eastern Conference or something, the Bobcats won like, or I don't know if it was the Bobcats. Some team won like 43 games and was the 4th seed because they won the division.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
So that's how it
Do you
be.
think the NFL should do like best teams make it to the playoffs or the division thing?
I think they should do the best teams, honestly, and I think they're starting to do that because you see they started implementing the extra playoff team a couple of years ago. Now there's 7 playoff teams and only the first team gets
Extra
a bye.
game also.
Yeah. So I think, maybe they'll start moving towards realigning divisions or just doing it where it's just the best 7 teams from each conference make the playoffs.
They're going to change it up one of these years.
I think when a team like has 5 wins and makes the playoffs, then they'll be like, all right, we need to do something about this. We can't allow this to slide.
Because the freaking Bucks division last year was kind of terrible, and they made it to the playoffs with like 7 wins or something like that.
Didn't Jordan make the playoffs with like 30 wins?
Who?
Jordan.
Yeah, 38 wins. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What a time.
Oh, another NFL news is Jonathan Taylor requesting a trade and Jim Irsay saying that.
We could just talk about the running backs in general. They've all been getting dicked.
That shit is so sad, actually. Like,
I mean, from a business standpoint, I like understand it, but from like a personal standpoint, what they bring to the team, like without Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones doesn't get paid, and he's basically taking his money just because of the position that he's in. And if those players are so valuable to the team, like if they're not on the roster, the team loses tremendously. But on the other side, you can't pay them because
they're replaceable.
Like, they're like cars. Like if you get a lot of miles on them, they're just gonna die down and deteriorate. And so you can't really pay them, and because you want to pay for the future. And I don't know how they're gonna
they should
fix
at
that
least
solution.
start like offering good money and like shorter contracts.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if they start giving more money, but like 1 or 2 years, so that if they get
But then
bodied,
as a
When a
player-
running back, their
but as a
contract.
player, like
you
I
want, like,
understand, like they
stability.
want the longevity,
Yeah,
but
longevity.
like,
But they
You
want
got-
security though.
but they're also like if they're not,
They're
gonna
getting
just
2
give
years
them
worth
shit,
of salary
like,
in 1 year, though. Like, you got to
or
think about
something.
that.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying, if you're telling them, give them more money over a shorter term, it's like the equivalent of, let's say you got 10 mil for 4 years, or it's like 20 mil for 2 years. It's like you get 2 years worth of salary in less time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would make sense. Yeah, you're not going to be in the league as long, but I don't know if you really want that. The way you're getting hit and
Yeah,
fucking your
God.
knees up.
No,
you know?
you do because that money is like generational.
But it's like it's about
But
the
I'm
market
saying,
right now.
but I'm
Like,
saying,
the
give
market
them
is so
1 year
bad.
generational money, not like many years. You got to settle somewhere, especially with how they're treating you. Like, you got to feed your family, bro. You got to find some way
Give them
to.
a solution, like
Yeah.
or a choice. Like you want longevity, but you don't get paid as much, or if you want like the most money right now, you get that. I guess that type of money, but
Because I get like they want stability, but I feel like that is like a bit of a like. I don't want to say every every running back is just gonna fall off in a couple years. Like
No,
there's
they
still
will.
like some career good running backs that come from time to time, but
like
it's like
generational ones. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I do think that since the market is so low right now, like, and obviously they're fighting for also like longer contracts and not just like the big money. I think they should at least try to like the league should over incentivize like shorter deals, if that's
Yeah.
what they want at the end of the day, pay them enough to want to take that deal, like
Pacheco kind of ruined the game too, and it hurts him in the long run because
Why they
he's a
give him
7th
back?
round pick, and he's not gonna. They're just gonna use him until like his contract extension comes up, and they're not gonna pay him. And so like he's hustling to even make the team. You have to work that hard to make the team, and his efforts got them a Super Bowl. But then now you're hustling to the point to get another contract, and you're not gonna get paid because you've already used up like used goods at that point, so to speak. So
use goods. Yeah, that's
it's really how they
It's
how
sad.
they view
I
it.
mean, hey, man.
Like I think
You
Nick
know,
Chubb said you can get 2,000 yards and then be like deemed as hurt as like your odds of getting a bigger contract moving forward because of how many yards you've ran and how used up you are, so to
Hey,
speak.
man,
So,
they call owners for a reason.
yeah, it's kind of tough. I feel like
I think what they need to do is, the thing you said with Pacheco, he got all these years. When running backs get drafted, their contract should be different from every other player, where they get like shorter deals when they're drafted. Like
But then-
you only get 2 years of this or 3 years of this running back before you have to pay them.
Yeah,
Then they can get a decent deal where 4 years where they're in their prime, they're getting worth what they're getting paid, and then you don't have to, should we pay this guy? Then after this contract, they get paid, they're happy. Maybe they'll stay with you, take a pay cut after that. They'll be okay since they got all this money, and I think it'll work out better. Instead of, we got this 5-year rookie deal, we're going to abuse it and like franchise tag, and now this fool doesn't show up to camp, and now we have to find a running back from the 7th round. It's just this complicated
but
process.
playing like devil's advocate, what if you end up with like a CEH and you have to overpay him and he's not as good as like you really
mean,
thought
that's
he
the
was?
game,
I feel like
though.
that's
That's
the
the
game.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you waive like that's. these niggas be waiving Westbrook and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you end up playing ass, you just get waived. Like, it is what it is.
It's a sad thing about this though. Is like Jonathan Taylor has easily been their best player for the last couple of years, and he's still like pretty young.
That shit
And
is
you don't want
sad.
to give
Like,
him an extension.
They need him too. They got a rookie QB who is like his throwing is not his greatest trait. You kind of need the running back to play off of him, and you're like, nah.
Especially with
that's how you know
schemes
that
and
shit is
stuff, too.
collusion too. Like they all doing it like
yeah,
on purpose,
all the owners.
like,
Yeah, so you don't mess up the market.
Yeah, like,
I mean, which is fair, like for them, but not fair for the running backs, especially with what they provide for you.
that's why the NBA is because that's why the NBA is way more player friendly. You know, like
yeah, easily because there's less players.
Yeah, that's true.
And
But
you're not getting hit every time you touch the ball.
oh, it's barbaric ass sport, man. Like,
Imagine if Zion Wilson kind of coming out like Damian Lillard or
nah,
something
bro,
like that. You get to like tackle players in the NBA.
that's
Hit 'em.
crazy.
That's how old heads describe the
Hey.
80s.
Oh God,
I know.
yeah.
And then I saw the meme. It's like, oh, in 30 years, I can't wait to show flagrant fouls from like the 2010s and be like, this is how the NBA was played back.
Show
then.
them Dylan.
Nobody called.
Show
nothing.
them Dylan Brooks moments. It'll be the same thing.
Exactly.
Honest to God.
Oh yeah. Did you guys see that Luka Doncic video where he's working out with Jalen Green and Steph, like with the tennis ball, and he's like messing up all the drills?
But he'll still give you 48 points,
Yeah,
bro.
he's the best. Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have this, like the fundamentals down or anything like that.
Yeah.
But once you play him,
He's
he'll
just
give you
nice.
30,
Yeah.
35.
That's just that boy nice. That's why.
Yeah, man.
He came up
That
off
was
the
hilarious,
course.
man.
Hey, man, real niggas ain't do drills. They just start hooping.
Yeah, you don't have to do them in Slovenia.
Hey, he's getting ready for
They ain't had no
FIBA. He
cones
looks
over
like
there.
he's in shape though.
Yeah, huh? But I mean, like those pictures can kind of be deceiving. It's like Ben Simmons in the offseason shooting threes in the summer. It's like, oh man, 3-point Ben Simmons.
If Luka's skinny, I believe
Hard
it.
into it.
I'm buying into it. I don't care. I'm
Think
ready
so?
to get hurt. I don't give a
Buying
fuck.
into the hype, Luka
Yeah.
hype.
Early
Luka-
MVP pick for me
Luka
right
need
here.
to get built like
Nice.
Chris Hemsworth. That's how Luka needs to be built.
Yeah, just not in that one movie where
think
he's
he
fat
can-
Thor.
Oh yeah, Nah,
You
except for
think he
Fat
can
Thor.
be built like Zion, like muscle wise?
Nah.
You don't think his
No,
frame
I
can be
feel
like
the
that?
genetics is not there. Like
No, no.
Zion's a
Imagine
freak of
Luka
nature.
like Zion,
Zion's just a
bro?
freak of nature. Like
Yeah.
Sounds a bowling ball, bro. You
You think
can't.
he can be ripped though, Luka?
No, he looks good.
I mean, anyone can get
I'll
ripped.
pull up a
Like,
pic right now.
like, I'm talking about like shredded though.
if you
He doesn't
work hard
need to,
enough
I
for it,
mean-
yeah,
No,
but
you
like
think he can though? Like,
I mean, if he wants to, I feel like he can get shredded. Like, but if he wants to, I don't think he wants to get shredded though.
I don't think he can.
That's a
Like,
lot of
I don't
work.
think like Jokic can
He'll
get
put
shredded,
time-
you
It's probably
know?
not good for him.
Maybe
Why did
not
he need all that
Jokic.
muscle?
yeah,
But
it's like
Luka-
physique and like sports
Yeah,
body is
physique-wise.
not the same. You know what I mean? Like for some people,
I
at
feel like
least.
since he has money and time, if he wants to, he could do it. Like, but
Like
he
just have a
doesn't-
straight up six pack and shredded.
Like, dude, if he's not to focus on basketball, like care, like or anything else, like you just like, all right, time to get shredded. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
could-
what I mean,
he has
like-
money and time. That's what you need. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
it's easier said than done.
Chefs.
nah, bro, you get like 5 personal trainers, you get 5 chefs, and you're locked in, bro.
Okay, but
have you seen
that's
Chris?
personal
trainers
Bro,
and
people,
5 chefs.
bro, famous people who are fat. Now, like,
This is
fit.
crazy. Like, why would you need 5 chefs?
You get a chef for a
Well,
meal,
yeah, 5 trainers.
chef for a meal, and a trainer for like
Nah, I'm just
workout
saying-
time. Work out 5
That's
times a day. You just get a
crazy,
different trainer.
That's wild. Bro.
Bit of an over exaggeration, but
Yeah.
like celebrities who have time and money get from fat to fit like in like
Yeah.
months.
No, yeah, that's facts. They be, hey man, they got
Or they get
Surgery.
drugs.
They got the Hollywood secrets. You know how
They take
do.
roids. They could take
They
roids
be-
too.
Yeah, they do, Loki. They be taking like,
They getting
you
their
know,
tummy
they have
tuck.
like the nutritionists or whatever. they're called, you know?
Nutritionist plan.
Like where they go in like, they do steroids, but like lightly. You know,
Like LeBron.
No,
LeBron
not
and
like
his
LeBron. No,
PEDs.
not like
He said lightly.
LeBron is also a
You
freak
remember
of
that
nature.
video, like the
What?
Miami Heat video? I think Jimmy Highroller made
Oh,
of
when
LeBron.
yeah. And then there's the niggas who like, oh,
2012?
he's on the doctor's logs, man. Stuff like this, man. Like, niggas fucking
That's
stupid.
hilarious,
Like,
man.
you know how many times they get drug
Yeah.
tested? Like,
All right.
That's
You
wild.
You said you got games.
I got games on
was
my
in
phone.
games
the,
there
nigga
for
went to
me?
the
Yeah, games there
Olympics
for
3
me?
times. Like, you think the Olympics is not going to drug test this nigga?
Yeah,
like,
man.
Hey man, he's been hiding.
In
it. They need
2012.
LeBron to be
Yo,
LeBron. They
piss
need him
ain't
to be the
clean,
face
Brian.
of
I'm
the league.
sorry.
like it was 2012 when this nigga was in the
They need him to be the face of the
Olympics.
league.
Like,
If he gets drug tested and he's out the NBA, what happens to the league?
Hey,
Lose a
honestly,
ton
that's
of money.
different. Like the league, okay, I could understand the argument. That's why, but the Olympics, it's a worldwide thing.
Bro,
like,
They
they,
some
need
don't,
drugs
USA to
though-
be on top.
they don't care. They're
I
just
don't
kicking.
get why some drugs they be tested for because like you should get bonuses if you play better when you're high, bro.
Oh no, facts.
Like
Well, they took it out.
you see, remember when Michael Beasley was rubbing like the other dude's knee? Like how are you that high in a basketball
You
game?
remember when he came?
How do you
with his,
function?
And he's hooping on the Timberwolves.
He had
too.
like Nike shorts on instead of the Lakers shorts.
Oh, yeah, they have the shorts under. They just have the sweats off.
He's
Right.
wild.
He had to be high when he was
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, man.
legend, Michael Beasley.
Shout out Michael Beasley.
Hopefully,
Isn't he playing in Taiwan or something? One of those leagues.
Him and Kemba going
He
crazy.
got some legendary interview moments too, man. Do you said that I once sat down interview with that girl? That shit was funny. All right, this segment we're doing is called Buy or Sell. So I'm gonna give you the name of a player, and you got to tell me, are you buying or selling stock on this player? So, and when I say that, what I mean is, do you think he'll have a better season than he did last year, or a worse season than he did last year? So base it off the previous season. Now, some of these guys is because of injury, some of these guys is because of play. So you just make that determination off whatever you think.
Which way are we going, Omari or Gabe?
Whoever want to start first, you could chime in.
Gabe.
First player we got, Ben Simmons. Are we buying or selling Ben Simmons stock? And keep in mind, it's low as fuck right now. It is low as shit.
The only thing I'll say is,
Can't
since
get lower
Best said
than
it's
that.
so low, it's like astronomical low. I think this season I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna take the buy. I'm buying into
You gonna
it.
take the risk and
I
buy?
heard a report says he's the healthiest he's ever been since 2020
I
or
heard
something.
that
So
That was Mikal Bridges, his
Hey,
teammate.
his
What else
teammate.
are you supposed to say? He said, "Oh no, Ben is
trust
trash."
him.
Who's
Mikhail said it.
Of course you're gonna
Mikhail
trust
said
him.
it. Yeah, I'll trust it.
I want to see where you got him on your list today. Might be
Three.
number one with
There's
that
only-
dick sucking you've been doing.
Nah,
Oh, man.
Nigga, you
This
was
is about Ben
hey,
Simmons,
you was
man.
about
Chill out.
KD in there.
there's only so much worse you can get from 2023 Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say buy into the stock.
Okay,
I
Dave's
believe-
buying.
I am also buying into the stock of Ben Simmons. I agree with my boy Gabe here.
Okay.
I feel like you have to. Like,
Yeah, because of how low it was last year, the injuries.
Right.
Like, how bad can you really get from how bad he was
That shit a
last
penny
season?
stock.
Especially, that's probably the worst Ben Simmons I've ever seen in my life. Even from maybe even middle school. Like, middle school he might have been playing better than what Ben Simmons did
But what
last
I'm
year.
asking you, it's
Middle
not
school
crazy
mixtape.
that he does the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
Really?
He could stay the same. I'm not saying, he's probably not gonna do worse,
Like
but
a
he could
triple
just stay the
single,
same.
like a
That was
triple single
bad,
again.
though.
It was bad, but
You think you can say it that bad, like that level of bad?
I would
He
buy
has to be
stock.
hurt. Like,
But it's a realistic possibility that he's not. He's 27. He's not like he's getting
that's
younger.
prime. 27
He
is prime.
should
What
be.
has he
prime.
done with his years? I mean,
His prime was in,
Prime was probably rookie
22.
year.
Yeah, Shit, all
still-
defense.
His
Yeah.
prime was LSU. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's at the same level too, though, because maybe he's just washed or he gets hurt again. So
At this point, for his sake, I hope he just plays better.
I want to see him play.
I
well.
want to see him have like a decent career. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
Yep.
and
But
after a
Bayern-
while, like the first couple years, where it's like, yo, like shoot the ball. It's like it's cool. But now it's like, damn, this nigga
Just
can't-
at least get what you're used to,
Now it's
bro.
like, damn, you can't even
Just
play
go back.
outside.
We don't
Go
even.
back to
We're
what
not
you
gonna
used
ask
to
you to
be.
shoot no more. Just
Yeah,
go back to being.
just be a power forward.
Bro's a
Yeah.
consistent all-star, like early on, like he can make all-star
And he
teams
earned
every
it,
year.
too.
That's what I'm saying. Like he was good.
did he make an All NBA list too?
He
I'm pretty
did. He
sure?
made 3 All NBA
sure, yeah,
teams,
like-
Oh my god.
or maybe even
Just
more.
go back to that, and I think the Nets could make
That's what I'm
the
saying. Like,
playoffs.
we don't need you to shoot no more. Fuck that. Just stop fucking averaging 3 points a game,
Do
please.
you think Ben Simmons could be the best player on the team, better than Mikal?
I mean,
No.
Top-
Upside wise?
Top upside, yeah, but
Yeah, like on the best
Yeah.
of days.
if he like
but
reverts back to like 2021 or
Yeah,
2020
then, yeah.
Ben
we're,
Simmons,
we're a long
like,
ways
all-star.
away from
But
that.
Mikhail's
though.
No, I
also-
know. It's a hypothetical.
No,
Super.
I'm saying I have
Possibly,
to
though.
see it. I
if
don't
he's
believe
back
it
to
right
76er form before the PTSD.
This is a heavy possibility.
Yeah,
heavy
oh God,
possibility
like-
though. Heavy.
hey man,
Great
him and
possibility.
Mikhail might be a nice little duo if he come back.
It'd be
now.
really good
defense,
duo.
Has a resurgence.
that defense about to be
Yeah.
crazy.
They gonna
Plus
have
Clax.
Cam, they gonna have
And
Cam,
Cam
on the
Johnson.
Wing,
Oh my
Claxton.
God.
Hey, that might be.
Yeah, I'll be a believer
if Ben
is
Simmons
him.
good, they might be a serious.
No,
team.
he has to be the best player on that
He's got to be
team.
the
Nah,
X factor.
I don't-
for
He's
them.
Best player, I
gotta be,
don't know.
bro.
Yeah.
McCall's gonna be the best
He
player on the
definitely
team.
have to be at least second best. He'd have to
Yeah.
be like a decent producer of scoring, and he
He
has
has
to
to
like
average
play
at
make.
least like 10, 8, and 8 minimum.
He
Like
has to
this.
be able to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, like on some Draymond stuff. Like,
Yeah, okay. That's a
All
good
right.
comparison.
That was a
to
good
see.
one. I like that one best.
All right, next
Excellent.
player we got. Similar situation to Ben Simmons. Rudy Gobert.
Sell
so, yeah.
immediate.
We
Actually-
selling? We
Explain,
selling?
explain.
Hey, I don't know. You seen the video?
There's no right or wrong
He was
answer.
choking out.
No, please never
You
do
saw
that
that?
shit. Hell
Yeah, shit
no.
him from his
Cooking on.
chest.
Oh God, you like.
He can't even lift his arms above his head.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, like, you not just go watch KD film or something, nigga. Like, what are you doing?
Hey, he's
His
not-
arms don't
he's not
work
built
like
like that,
Yeah.
though. So.
But it's like,
Why are you selling?
I think as long as like they stick with this, I don't think this formula of their twin towers is gonna work. They have to like. It depends on what happens in the season, but if they stick the way they are now, for his production, I think I'd rather sell than invest in stock in
You know
him.
what?
That's
I'm
fair.
gonna disagree with you here. I'm buying on Rudy Gobert stock.
That's
Not because
fair,
I've
too.
been hyping him up the whole podcast that we've been doing.
His
but-
stock is
but-
low too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
it
stock
is
is pretty
low.
low.
It
And
is
then
low.
also there's like a revenge factor for him and Kat. The amount of people talking trash about them and how they're not good together could be a motivation factor for them to play better. So stock is low, and I'm gonna buy on it because I think they'll be better than they were.
Is that the type of guy you think they are?
Shoot, we'll find out. I believe it with my stock purchase.
Hey, Ant said he's going back to number 5, so Shout out to Ant.
Plus, they've been calling Ant like gay when he's not, so that's another motivation.
Wait, what?
You didn't see that?
Who's been saying this?
Cat? They
Yeah, I
called
seen
Cat
that shit.
gay.
That was
Oh,
Cat. You said Ant.
Yes.
Oh, my
That's
fault.
why I laughed.
I was like, what?
My fault, my
I'm
fault.
like, Ant did some crazy shit
Yeah,
about
Bro,
like,
yeah, he said some exact opposite about
No,
you.
we don't condone what Ant said, but they've been calling him Cat gay when he's not, so I guess that could be another liar of
He's
motivation.
just fruity,
so.
man.
Is
He's
he
just
really
fruity.
though? Like, is he really though?
Hey man, all I know is when he go to sleep, he next to Jordan Woods.
Facts.
You know? Like,
Yeah, hey,
so I
facts.
can't even, you know what I mean? Like,
Facts.
It is what
it's
it is.
funny, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
We know his game. I wasn't familiar with the game.
Tell these niggas that post their girls. Like,
Game is
tell them post their
Game.
girls compared.
Post their bank account too.
Oh, God.
Yeah, let's see who's laughing
That's
now.
crazy.
What
Funny
about
thing
you?
is that they believed them too. Oh, he is? Okay. And when they asked
What
him,
about you,
yeah,
Omar? Are you buying Rudy or are you selling Rudy? You selling?
That's the
him?
type of star that I just wouldn't even touch. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I
For
wouldn't
real?
even
He's
waste
just
my
not
time
touching the
buying
star.
that.
Either.
Nah, because bro, yeah, I was avoiding that shit.
I'm
Because
gonna go.
it's just like he very well. I don't see him being worse really.
Just
But
like
it's like
the
the team
same.
is just like the team is just not good. Like I don't see how he can do much better unless he gets the offensive bag. He's stroking them threes. If he makes a three, he might,
That would
he might prove me
be
wrong,
the
but-
craziest
It's not
thing
even an
ever.
offensive bag, but if he can just do like what he did at Utah and Minnesota,
happen.
then you'll
That's
buy
true.
it, right?
Bro, imagine Rudy
It's a
Gobert
little different,
next
yeah.
season pulls up, Kyrie Irving just jelly to the rim.
One Banyama level.
Who's he? That's his clone right
Who's
there.
him? New phone, who this?
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
That's you don't believe he can do what he did in Utah, or at
Not
least
in
be
his
better?
situation.
That's
Not with
fair.
like
That's
not in
fair.
that
But
team.
be
I think.
better than what he was last
I
year?
don't
Just be
think.
the same.
Well, okay, so he
I'll buy
played
it, I
bad,
guess.
so-
He's been the same for his whole career, but it's just like
But it got worse.
more efficient with what he does. It did get worse.
It's all right, we can move on. Rudy's not very interesting.
Yeah, that
not.
nigga stinks.
Even
Yeah,
if we do buy it,
he's
it's
just
not
the
going up
opposite.
much.
He's gonna play
He still
France.
got a limited game.
All right.
What about CJ McCollum?
Oh,
CJ
good one.
McCollum. We buying? He had an okay year last year, but he's getting older. And so what are we thinking? You know,
It's more of a neither for me too, but what'd you think?
I would, for CJ, I'd sell more rather than buy. I think his time is slowly, getting lower. I know he's not like
whoa,
40.
he ain't not dying, bro.
He's not
Relax.
Nigga say he on a life alert.
Yeah, his
But I
time
think
is
he's just
dwindling
gonna start.
down.
I think he's gonna slip in a little more for CJ in the years to come. So I'd rather sell. I don't think he's gonna output more like performance now going forward than like what he did now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'd sell on CJ because of the age factor, and we've already seen his best, and we know he's not going to be that level of CJ McCollum, like Trailblazer CJ McCollum on this Pelicans team because of the emergence of Zion and BI. Like, those guys can both be better than what they were.
It matters
in
about their
previous
health
seasons.
too, to be honest, Huss.
Well, yeah, obviously I'm coming into this with
Yeah.
them being healthy. If they're healthy, they're both obviously better players than McCollum, and you want him to be more of a facilitator role or get them involved more than himself in his offense and get him getting his shot. So I'd have to sell just for the reason of how the team in the future is going.
What about you, Omari? I know you like CJ, so what do you think about him?
Yeah, just for consistency on my takes, and I had CJ spoke highly of him on my
Yeah,
top 10. So I'm gonna just say bye, just because hopefully he has a chance to, if he's off the ball a little bit more this year, he has a chance to be a little more efficient and just go back to a normal 2-guard, catch and shoot. Get the
they got
ball,
him playing point
do a
guard
couple
there.
moves,
Yeah.
instead of using so much energy on trying to play, make, and distribute for everybody. So
It's not really his game either.
yeah, so I'm
He's
hoping
kinda
that
forced
if he
to,
gets
though.
if he gets back
Ingram
into a wing role, off the ball, then I'm gonna go ahead and buy because I want to hope he does better.
What about CJ's teammate Zion Williamson? We know what he could do when he's healthy, but that's the big thing is health. So I'm asking y'all, if you're buying in, do you think he could get healthy? You think he could get skinny? You got a kid on the way. Maybe that'll motivate him to work hard for his kid. I don't know.
A lot of slander.
What
on
are
his
we
name,
what are we
too.
thinking? Yeah, he wants to prove people
That
wrong.
Ryan
maybe.
Mill shit, nigga, I would have been 170 pounds by the end of
Back
it.
in the
Like,
gym, yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So what do we think? What are we thinking with Zion?
I'm a
Buy or
fat
sell?
buy, bro. I'm a big buy. I
Big
think
buy. So you buy you
big.
buying
I'm buying everything.
50% of
Zion
equity on the stock right now.
100%
Mariah
equity.
Mills?
Give me all my shares into Zion.
Okay.
No, dude. I think this is his chance to because I feel like with Zion's case is now if he goes into this next season, he's like 4th or 5th year already, 5th year
Yeah.
in the league, and he's what like 120 games to show for it.
There's a crazy stat. Jarrett Culver has played more NBA games than Zion Williamson.
Jarrett
Isn't that crazy? Jarrett Culver,
Probably
he's
played
not
more
even in the
games.
league
Yeah, I might
anymore.
say,
Like,
Oh my
damn.
Probably play more games than Kawhi and PG too.
Probably.
Yeah.
He needs to prove himself this year to show that he can play consistent. He is like a superstar talent player, and once he plays this good and he drops all that off the court drama, then people are gonna be like, "Yep, this design we saw in 2019. This design that's gonna finally like change the game for his team." And I think this is the year he does it. Like this is like a wake up call type thing for him. I think.
Yeah,
I'd buy on Zion too, regardless if he plays or not, because of the talent that he has, his upside. Like I said before, like even if he gets hurt and plays the same amount of games that he's done for his whole contract, I still think he'll get a max contract because of the ability that he has and how he can play. Or so I think you can only buy on him because of the upside that he brings. Because when he's healthy, he's just damn near almost a superstar. So 27 like locked. So
efficient 27.
Yeah,
I feel like it's same as Ben Simmons shit. It's just like can't get much worse than not playing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
yeah, he's just
you
0 points per game.
Yeah. So hopefully,
Only way is up. That's a good one. All
because
right.
when they were winning, they're the first seed, or when he was playing.
Yeah, they were really good.
Yeah,
He
they're
was
beating
doing
the
the
Suns,
thing.
bro.
Doing
Yeah, remember
windmills.
that windmill? Yeah.
What about you, Bez? What do you think? I didn't.
For
Zion,
Zion, no,
fuck.
I'm buying on Zion. I agree with you guys. I think the talent's there, and it's about health and the probability. He's played such little games that the probability that he plays that little is just so low.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't play the whole season or a majority of the season, he's more likely to play 50 games than he is to play 20 games again. You know what I mean? So I'm going to buy on that.
I hope that's the case.
I've seen some interviews with him. He looks like he really wants to prove people wrong, and he seems like he really wants to be out there playing. I'm sure he wants to help his team win. He seems like the guy who actually likes to play basketball, not just what comes with basketball. So I think that'll motivate him to get in shape, and hopefully they put the Pelican staff, I don't know if they're a problem, but hopefully they put good staff around him that could support him.
Yeah.
Get him a nutritionist.
Yeah, or whatever you need, bro. Whatever.
At the end of the day, it falls on him. I feel like everything that they provide for him, if he doesn't put in the work or effort to, then it's just not going to work out.
Yeah. But that's your asset. You got to protect it.
Yeah.
What about next guy on here, John Collins, traded to a new team from Atlanta. It was bad in Atlanta. We out here saying, what does he even do? DJ Khaled swag. But he's on a new team on the Jazz, and the Jazz, they can afford to take a chance on him. They don't really have anything to play for. There's no expectations with Utah. You see what they did with Laurie, kind of helped rehabilitate his game. Let's say, THT got an opportunity there. They got Colin Sexton. So it's just a place for young guys. Do we think John Collins could do the same? Do you think, he is what he is? What are we thinking? Buy or sell John Collins?
I'm selling. That nigga stinks. I feel like for him, it's like a player. It's not even like a system or like.
Okay.
I think it's like a player thing for him. I feel like he's just not that good. Like
Yeah,
obviously, like he's on the Jazz, so he could have a bigger life. But there's also like all the people that you named.
We seen him be nice before. You know what I mean?
This is like
I
a
feel like all the people that
This was John Collins.
He's still gonna be like the third option. Third, fourth. It's not like Laurie. Like he got there. And he was just better than what I mean. So he became the first option. And Clarkson's there.
But I don't think
Sexton's
it's like
there.
it's not compared to Trae Young where he has the ball in his hands
Yeah.
all the time.
Well, I
DeJounte
feel like,
all the time.
of
I
course.
feel like
but-
Collins is like values dependent on how his guard plays.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But
I'm
I
low-
just feel like he's not that. Like I feel like when it comes to player wise, it's for him. It's like a player thing. I feel like he's just not the most talented in the world.
Yeah.
I'm buying John Collins stock, honestly. I was looking at like his stats. Other than like his rookie year, this is like his second worst season. I mean, he's averaged like 19-8 or 19-7 before.
He helped him get to
the conference finals. I mean, yeah, you want to say stuff fell into place, but John Collins was hooping with Trey, with all those guys. I think he could have a good shot.
That's why he got paid, because he played so well in that season.
I don't think John Collins. I remember it used to be like, what was like 2-3 years ago. He was like a top 10 center. I think when he was averaging
he's
19.
Not a center, but yeah.
Yeah, or like forward. But I think John Collins has a good chance in the Jazz to bounce back, because he did play bad last. Like he did play not crazy.
Yeah, he didn't do anything last year.
I am
Standing
selling
at the
on John Collins. I agree with Omari. He's like literally average at everything that he does, or above average to even get like that type of money or roster spot. So I feel like he's not going to do anything better than he did on Atlanta. I feel like his role is more of diminished on the Jazz because of what they're trying to build over there and the players that they already have, like Laurie. Kessler's not going to get more shots than him, but his role is like kind of solidified in his minutes and stuff like that too. So I don't even know where John Collins like kind of lies with them and what they're trying to do next season.
What do you think? What do you think John Collins' best season was?
The year they made it to the conference finals.
Like, what do you think he did? Do you know off the top of your head? I'm gonna tell you in a sec. What do you guess?
Oh, stat wise?
Yeah, just real quick.
In
What
the
do you
playoffs
think?
or regular season?
Regular season.
I know what he did. I'm not going to say. I want to see if he knows.
Yeah, because I saw this and I'm like, damn.
Yes,
I'll
it's
say
pretty
like
good.
21-7.
21 and like 10.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
you're
mean,
close. Yeah, okay.
you're close. But
But
yeah,
20,
imagine
20 and
someone
10 is good.
Nah, I
for,
feel like that
20
was
10
based
guy
off of-
is a starter.
What
almost
was,
anyways,
what
you know?
was Trey averaging there?
Trey
you know?
in that year.
Yeah.
probably
I could say.
27 and 8 or
Trey's
9.
been averaging like 27 and like 9 for like
Yeah.
4 years.
I think
Yeah.
he probably averaged a bit more assists, but I think his role was a bit more diminished that year, Trey's, and he ate because of it. So
I don't think it was diminished. I think Trey just said
stat-wise,
his.
at
Oh,
least.
Trey averaged 30 and 9 that year.
Oh,
damn.
hell no. It ain't
no, I
no
guess it
diminished
wasn't.
there. He probably
I
led
guess
the league in
everybody played
points
well.
and assists that year.
That was his highest points per game season so far in the NBA.
Okay, yeah, that was the year he did lead the league in points.
Yeah, and assists.
Yeah.
Both.
30 and 9.
turnovers, but it is what it is.
Lead the league in scoring, baby. Look at my.
What did you think, Bez? I didn't hear you. What did you
John,
think?
I'm gonna say I'm a buy. I'm not thinking he could get back to being that 2010 guy, but he was bad last year. So I think he could get to the point where he's a quality role player again. Maybe like I don't know what he averaged last year. I want to say like 12 points or something.
12, 13.
Yeah, so
Why
I
do
think
you-
he could get up to 15 again, maybe like 6, 7 rebounds. I think that's good for him. I don't think he'll get back to the point where he's getting the money that he got paid for, but he can do better than he did last season, and that's really what I'm trying to buy because the stock will go up, I think. Maybe not much, maybe a couple dollars, but I think it will go up.
Why do you think Utah made the trade for him though?
Because they can afford to. Like, what did they give up for him? I don't even know who they
What's the
trade.
motive?
Rudy
Rudy
Gay?
Gay,
Like,
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
You think they're trying to win now, or
No, you bring in a guy that, you know, you saw the potential he had when he made it to the conference finals with Trae Young. He used to be a 2010 guy, like Gabe said, and he did nothing last season, so much that the Hawks traded him for absolutely nothing. So you bring him in, you let him play on the team for a few years, you get his stats back up, show that he can still play in the league, be a good role player, and you trade him for more. You trade him for a first-round pick or a young player.
not
I
his
see it as
value
like
per se,
a
but-
low risk, high upside reward in their favor. Like
What are
not,
the
not
Jazz
like a high
trying to do?
upside, but
Like,
like a good upside.
Yeah.
what's their like?
Intention with getting Collins?
Yeah, like
I said
Flip
low.
him
I think it's like
later
low risk.
for more,
yeah.
for better assets. He's gonna
So you think they're trying to like win games with him and
No,
then
flip-
Build
no,
market
no,
value. To be
but
honest,
you
they
just
can
trying
build
to-
market
so
value.
you
want
think
him
they're
to
trying to
get
flip him?
better stats and trade him later?
yeah, exactly.
Picks him.
Buy low, sell high.
Yeah,
Exactly.
flipping him. All right.
A guy plays worse, you put some stock into
Yeah.
him, and then you flip
If he
him.
plays better on the Jazz next year than he did Hawks, someone will trade for him more than Rudy Gay. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like
Take
you
the
basically
contract.
flipping Rudy Gay for a first round
I
pick.
just noticed
or
I was
whatever.
wearing these shits the whole time. Like,
Could you hear us?
Drip-
I wasn't even listening.
Could you
to
hear
yeah,
us?
yeah, you guys. I wasn't even listening to nothing.
Bro was like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck these guys.
He's like, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
All right,
Crazy.
last player we got on the buy or sell is Chris Middleton. He had a
Sell.
off season,
Sell.
but he's on a championship team. I mean, damn, bro. Fine, go ahead. Why are you selling?
Why are you selling him? Why are you selling
Why
him?
you hate him so much, man? What did he do to you?
I mean, I'm just playing around. I mean, because if you go off based off last year, the nigga was hurt for like half the year. So
That's
it's
what
just
I'm
like-
asking.
It's also like can't get worse. But I was just in terms of Chris Middleton, I don't think he's gonna get back to his peak, you know, or to where he was before the injury.
Yeah.
So
This is a tough one.
Do you
for
think he
me.
gets better than last season though? Like
Yeah,
post injury
that's what I'm asking.
That's
season.
what I'm saying. I mean, it's hard to get. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're fine.
All you gotta do is but all you gotta do is play.
Yeah, yeah.
that's my point. But
But
like,
I'm
I
saying,
feel like,
even when he did play last season, he wasn't that good. He averaged maybe like 16 points, you know.
Because he was hurt.
yeah, I mean,
I guess.
he was coming. Yeah, he was coming back. But like,
But do you think, like, you know,
Better
he
than
could come back
16?
next
Yeah.
season and play, but still maybe not be as good as he was when he was healthy? You know what I mean?
better than 16. Yeah, I think he'll do better than 16.
I'm not saying his prime
Well,
version, but just
I don't think he'll ever get back.
What's
to
the
like
hierarchy in
22.
the Bucks gonna be again? Dude, he's not gonna be number 2 anymore, right?
2 or 3.
I mean, he's
two or three?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
between,
like,
yeah.
him and
Drew.
Him and Drew.
Do you think
they have
Drew's not
the
gonna
same
be two?
chemistry. No, he's
Drew
not a solidified
scores.
2.
Drew scores and he can score a lot, but he doesn't like.
That's
he's
not
not
even
always
Drew's
looking to
game
score.
either.
Yeah, it's not his game.
He's not always looking to score. So
Yeah,
a
he
lot
just
of
do what
times
the
it's gonna
team
be Chris,
needs.
because that's Chris's job. Like his
Yeah.
job is to go and score.
So you
What's he
think he's gonna
gonna
do
do,
it? But you think he's gonna do it?
He just thinks though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So like
That's
that's the conversation
I think
of
he will.
Chris
I
Middleton's
don't-
scoring role.
I agree with Omari saying like he won't hit his peak like he used to, but he was pretty bad last year because of injury. We got to factor in that he'll have a off season full of training,
Yeah.
get back into rhythm, and then the team like if you have a player like Giannis Antetokounmpo on your team, like he'll bring players up and the team will play better because of the person he is. Like Brook Lopez played better than what he was, his talent wise. He was almost a DPOY this year because of the people that they have around him. So I think Chris Middleton will come back to at least a level that's sufficient enough to help Giannis and average higher than he did last season. So
Okay, good point.
yeah,
What do you?
I'll buy
what do
on
you
him.
think the Bucks like ceiling is next season? You think they're gonna
Same as last year.
championship contenders?
Yeah,
So,
with
okay.
that level of play that you have with because Giannis is easily a top 3 player in the
If
league.
those fools just don't get first rounded again,
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you have a
that
top
is-
3 player in
they
the
were my
league,
lock
you
in
always
the
have a
Eastern
chance.
Conference, like all the way.
Hey, NBA's crazy, man.
I
Yep,
don't think they'll win another chip though with Giannis
bro.
right
What?
now, and with the roster they have constructed with
Oh.
Drew and Middleton, I don't think they'll win a chip.
You think they need
ever.
like another star? like
I
player?
just think their
The
time
role
is coming.
players.
They're outdated.
I think the role
the years
players-
are gonna hit them soon.
Yeah,
And
I
the role
think
players
they need a
too.
middle term replacement.
Because I don't think you're gonna get Bobby Portis on that same contract with the way that he produces. They actually got. I'm surprised they kept Brook Lopez with that contract, especially with what Houston was offering him. So I guess he values winning over money, but not every
He got
player on
paid.
that
It's
team
not
will
like
say
he
the
got
same.
pennies.
He got money, dude.
28 mil.
But it
got
was
money.
a 20 mil like difference, I think.
Per year?
No, it's just a longer term
No, for
deal.
2 years.
Oh, okay. So total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
total.
Okay. Yeah. Winning 20 mil depends on who you are.
Yeah, but I'm saying that not every player on the team will think like him. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah, bro. He said Robin Lopez, his brother said he signed with the Magic because he likes Disney World, bro.
Guy's a-
So
that
they
guy's a
don't give
comedian.
a fuck about normal.
That guy's a comedian.
Shit. They don't care
Yeah.
about money.
probably
Like
live
that.
with each
I
other.
like Disney World. Yes.
Yeah, he's like.
I heard
don't
the
know.
Morris twins share like a same bank account, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter
What
who's
the
making
fuck?
the money.
They got a joint account?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean they're twins. Yeah.
How about to say same family to take care of?
Yeah.
Like, only got one. That's a hack. I'm
yeah,
not
it
gonna
is a
lie.
hack.
But
Especially
We gonna
yeah.
talk
What
about
about like
Jonathan
you think the Thompson brothers are gonna do
Why?
that?
Oh, his shoe.
Oh,
yeah, but that's just the way he was saying. Like,
Oh, I saw
you grab
that.
that charger
thing
for me?
for Jonathan Isaac.
happened to
Man, he's about to be
Jonathan
out the league in 2 years, bro.
nigga's crazy.
What I care
man.
about Jonathan Isaac
Gray one,
for?
gray
This is
one.
hilarious though.
The
Like,
gray
he
No,
got
no,
the
that
Air
one. You're right. You're right.
Jordans.
You're right. I'm tripping. I'm
He'll have his clout for 2 more years in the
Nigga got
NBA
the
playing and be out of there.
the anti-woke.
That hurts
I'll buy on
his
John.
that hurts his
So what's up
chances
with
of
this
him
nigga?
getting signed with another team.
How did he
too.
get a signature
He's gotta
shoe,
bring
bro?
that with him.
How did he get a signature shoe? Someone tell me.
Who gave it? Yeah, probably some.
Who the
some,
fuck?
Like
I saw his name on my timeline, but I kept scrolling. What happened?
Some like woke probably thing.
Yeah, like or like
Sponsored him.
anti-woke.
There's no plug in there.
What sponsored him?
Nah, it's
woke.
tough.
Like
Woke?
people. That's
Oh,
what you
I
never
mean-
get into the and like him woke.
No.
NBA player has woke something
Fine.
something.
You can take the
Headline.
light off. No,
I
you
just
sure
saw
you can't.
Jonathan
No,
Isaac
no,
on my
let's
timeline.
go-
I kept
let's go.
scrolling, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah. So Mark can explain it if he wants to.
That's fine. We'll be good for now. I just need to plug it up for a
He
little
brought
bit.
it up.
Wait, what?
You want to explain it?
Gabe doesn't know about the Jonathan Isaac stuff.
I just saw it on my TL and I kept scrolling.
Talking to the mic when you
Oh
can.
my bad. He said like something about he wants to make a shoe brand that's for like anti-woke and pro-Christian, and he made like they're a freaking I don't know if it was real, but like a shoe came out and it said Judah on it, and then nigga was like, not the Air Judas.
And I was saying that he's gonna be out the league in like
Yeah,
2
I'm
years
like, who is
because
this
he doesn't
nigga,
play.
He doesn't
Haven't you
play.
been saying
at
that
all.
though?
Yeah,
How is
but
he
look,
still in the
after-
league?
when his contract expires, he's done for sure.
Yeah.
Who's gonna take a
Dude, he
chance on
plays
him?
8 games a year. Or he
Take a
plays
chance.
0, 0, 0, 8,
Give
0,
him
0.
a, give him a min, bro. Take a bet.
No, I don't think
He don't deserve it no
because
more.
you have to
Plus
take
the-
that with you. Like,
Now he's getting bad
conservative shit,
publicity.
yeah,
Yeah,
you got to take that, and you don't want that type of baggage for press conferences or that type of level of.
They're gonna
staying
start
on your
asking him
team.
like, "Yo,
yeah,
it's gonna be another Kyrie situation."
Deflect the jaw stuff onto Jonathan
Kyrie
Isaac.
situation for someone's
There you
not
go.
even close to as good, bro.
200.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
yeah.
Or Dallas.
We could get into these
For
small
Kyrie.
forward rankings now.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I know we're gonna spend some time on these, and we're not trying to have another 2-hour podcast, so we could hop straight into these small forward rankings.
Who's starting?
It was a top 25 list, right?
Number
Sarah
10.
Tech,
Number
5
10.
hours.
Wait, honorable mentions.
I got 2 honorable mentions.
Oh, cool. Me too.
God, I hope they're honorable mentions and I don't get flamed
I
again.
have none today. So.
Go ahead. I got
my,
2 of them.
My 2 honorable mentions are Keldon Johnson and Jeremiah Grant.
Chermai.
What?
Why is he even on
They
this
shouldn't
list?
even be
though?
notable.
Yeah, that's what I'm-
How? They're 22 point per game
I will
players.
not honor
top
this.
10.
Jeremy Grant's not even a small
22.
forward.
22.
Niggas
Jeremy
not even
Grant's
small
never
forward.
averaged 22 points per game.
21. Keldon averaged 22.
Okay, and what ranking
yeah.
are they? Like 13th and
On the
11,
12
12.
garbage
yeah,
teams
11,
ever.
12.
13th.
It's an honorable
11,
mention,
12.
bro.
How are they honorable if they're getting stats on bad teams?
It's an honorable mention, bro.
I got real honorable mentions.
Honorable mention.
I got real honors.
All right, go ahead.
We got Franz Wagner, honorable mention. He's young,
Okay,
so I
that's-
can't put him on the
better
list
than
yet.
those two.
I
What?
can't-
Nah,
He
he's
is.
not.
better.
He's not. He's not
Yeah,
better
because
than
it's upside
those
for
two,
going
He
into
is.
next
Oh
season.
my-
He is going into next season. He's better.
Yeah,
I'll make a bet with anybody here that Franz Wagner have a better season
Was
than
he
those
gonna
two
get like a
players.
shoulder dislocation? Like,
You want to make that bet? We can add the wheel into this.
Yeah, I'll make that bet with
No,
anybody
I think
here.
Franz
see,
is nice.
he
I don't
doesn't
wanna
wanna
make
back
the
it
bet.
up. He doesn't
I
wanna
like
back it
Franz,
up.
but I'm just saying he
All
had a
right,
better
then.
season.
I see
Alright.
what he doing in German and for the German team, man. I'm just saying. And in my other honorable mention, I don't know if he's gonna like this. Is Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is my honorable mention. Yeah, I don't know. He had a down year last year. You know, he came off that All-Star year. He
Okay,
still
it's
played
not-
pretty good.
I love you. My fault.
Whoa,
Before I
already
get defensive.
He don't know you, bro.
I gotta wear a cape for my man.
He's still a great player. I just think the players above him give a little more on both ends of the ball. Not that he's bad. Again, he's an honorable mention. He would be 11. I think he's better than Franz. So it was between him and my number 10 for that 10 spot. I
already know you have at 10.
I picked a player at different player at 10 because I think he had a better season overall. And I also think, Wiggins. He was in and out with dealing with personal issues, so not the greatest season, but he's still a good player.
Is going into next
season. He's still a good player.
Relax.
But I still think it's still Steph's team. You got Chris Paul, who's gonna have the ball a lot. You still got Clay, who you think is gonna bounce back. So there's got to be a certain amount of players that can bounce back.
Gotta have a warrior on every list.
Did you have
Kuminga? Got to get the rock.
Kuminga's gonna be on there. I got point guard, shooting guard, small forward.
Did you have a 10 honorable mention?
I don't really have an honorable mention, but I'll shout out Middleton. Shout out.
You didn't put Middleton at all?
Nah, nigga.
That's crazy.
He's not on my list either, though.
Damn,
Yeah, he's not on my list.
Y'all tripping. One season he's hurt.
Well, because of age too.
Shout out Gordon
And
Hayward.
coming up.
3-time All-Star. 3-time All-Star.
Shout out.
No,
Gordon Hayward.
not Gordon Hayward. No.
Okay.
Shout out Scotty Barnes.
All right, I'll start with the 10.
No shout out Scotty
I'll
Barnes.
start with the
I'm just
10.
shouting him out. It's not
Okay.
These are like just
Yeah,
small
start
forwards
the
I
10.
like.
All right, I'll start the 10 because it's already 11 o'clock.
Number 10.
All right, my number 10, Best said Wiggins. I have Wiggins at my 10. So same things as he said. He had a down year. Off the court stuff was keeping him from playing, but I think this man has championship DNA. He's gonna play what he. I think he's gonna bounce back to what he did when he was an All-Star. Just he has more games in.
Okay.
So I think that's top 10 worthy in my opinion.
All right.
At my 10, I have MPJ, Michael Porter Jr.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
The
I didn't
reason
put him
why-
on my list at all.
Champion.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
He was,
I'm a
he was
fan of
another
him.
honorable mention.
The reason
Yeah,
I
I was
have
like
him on my
15
list is
points,
because he won a championship with the way that he plays. His play style helps teams win championships, but he's just one-dimensional. Like all he can do is
That's why he can't be on the list.
He
But,
has
I mean, he's
he's on
better
the
than
list.
all the other players.
He's not on the list,
I
Mike.
think he's
No,
better
he's
than.
No, he's not.
everyone
I
you
will
guys
name a player
mentioned.
right now at my number 10 who's better than him.
All right,
And
go
maybe he's
ahead.
higher on your list actually, but is OG Anunoby number 10 on my list?
I didn't have him.
He's not on my list.
Yeah, he's definitely better than Michael Porter Jr. There's no question to me.
Well, I don't
Two-way
think he
player,
affects-
better. He's a good shooter. Not as good as MPJ, obviously, but he could hit the shot better. He's a more well-rounded player on offense. Miles ahead defensively. He's an all-defensive player. I'm
You
pretty
could
sure he
argue
made it
that
this year.
MPJ has better playoff games than OG has.
What is OG gonna do in the playoffs with the Raptors?
Exactly. What is OG gonna do in the playoffs?
Do you think if OG was on the Nuggets, he couldn't do what MPJ is
This
doing
is
and
an
more?
if, though. He's gonna be on the Raptors next season.
Okay, but I know, and I still think he's a better player overall. I'm not saying what he's gonna do for the team.
I mean,
MPJ is
We're
lacking.
stuck at number 10 again. This is
Skill
wild.
wise,
This-
but
I already know what's
are we
going
not
on.
going to give MPJ credit for the championship run? Because I don't
No,
think they
because
would've-
it's not because of him that they won.
But he's a reason.
He's a
as to
part
why.
of it. But
It's
if
like
OG was
Aaron
on the
Gordon.
team, he'd be a part of it too.
I know you'd be giving Aaron Gordon his props for his championship run.
What do you mean?
Like you give him props for what he did.
You'd rate him higher for the championship run.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm saying, yeah, he helped win the championship. I'm not taking that away from him, but just because of that, I'm not putting him on top 10 small forwards list. Just because
I
he helped
think
the
he
team win a championship.
Well, I think
It
his
doesn't
talent resonates with, as to why they win.
You have
I don't
MPJ on
agree.
your 10?
Yeah.
Oh, MPJ's not on my list.
Yeah,
Omari,
MPJ
who's
wasn't
your
even
10?
on honorable mention, but
Well, that's
I'll
why
chime in real quick.
I understand why you have OG there, but
OG
the
I
reason
think
why
is just
have-
better
I have
overall, and he
MPJ
made all
at 10 is
defensive
because of
team.
the winning.
He made all defensive team. He's been he's obviously constantly been most improved player conversations. He's averaged 20 points per game. MPJ hasn't done any of those things. So
I think-
he did help his team get to a championship. He's a great shooter, knockdown shooter, one of the most efficient shooters in the league. But that's about it. He's slow-footed on defense. Like Omari said, he has some low IQ plays sometimes.
He came back from injury
You know.
too, though, so that's also a different thing to
Factor.
factor into his game. Which I'm saying, yeah, like consistent. OG Anunoby's been involved.
Yeah.
MPJ just came back with like last
I'll
year.
give you-
Well, he's been injured. He's had back injuries
he's
his whole
had back
career. So
injuries.
it's not like, oh my God, he's just got injured and had a down year. He's always been like this.
He's
It's
always
not-
been injured.
I'll say
So,
I'll
and
give
it's
you
a back
that
injury.
OG's a better individual player, but I think MPJ is a better team player and team success.
I still
matters
disagree
at
with
10
that
for
too.
me.
That's a hard
I
take.
still disagree.
OG
could-
can't even shoot like
like
that
a
for
steamy
real, huh?
take.
Bro,
though.
he's a 35+% three-point
check.
shooter. He's a
Let's
great
check.
three-point
That's a
shooter.
I
steamy
think he
take.
had a-
Overall, player-wise on a team, Michael Porter or OG. What are you looking for?
It's
Depends on what
easily
you want on
OG,
the team.
bro.
I think OG's more complete though, Huss. You got to say that. You got
That's
to
why
say
better individual
OG's
player,
better all
but
around.
as for a team,
as
He
for a
might
team, you want the
have
better.
not have
so
shot
do
as
you
good
think
last
OG
year.
on the Nuggets would be a better fit for
Well,
them? Or
I mean,
MPJ?
if they want shooting, they're probably gonna choose Michael. But if they want everything else, they'll get OG.
Depends on the
If
team.
they want a
If they-
slight downgrade at shooting and better everything else,
Yeah.
they get OG. If
Because
they
yeah,
wanna
we
keep
for all the shooting we can talk
spacing.
Michael
So
Porter. Yeah,
who's gonna get traded for 5 first-round picks?
For real.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not
They're
saying
not
he's
worth
worth
5
all
first-round
that,
picks.
but he's definitely better than MPJ all around. Like, he's a better player. I think if he has the opportunity, he's not the type of player to have a bag, but I even seen NBA players say that he's a type of guy that if he was on his own team, he could show people that he could do more with the ball in his hands. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with that, but if the NBA players are saying that, I gotta believe them.
39% from three.
Yeah, 39% from three. So I'll give you that.
What did MPJ shoot?
I think he shot at a higher clip though. That's for sure.
I'm gonna check right
his
now.
percentage.
Michael
But,
Porter Jr.
He shot 6.
How much? What did he average though, points wise? MPJ for
Probably
the
like
season?
15, 16. Try to guess.
He
Like
averaged
15,
17 points
17.
and he shot 41% from three. So slightly
Yeah,
better.
you get-
Stats are better too. What did he do for rebounding?
Maybe
Not
7,
much.
6.
It's probably it's the same. It's like
But then you got to see
because
the
OG
defensive
averaged
aspect. You gotta see the
16.8,
defensive
5,
aspect.
and 2. But MPJ has defensive potential with his build though too. Obviously OG's
Potential.
better.
Potential, but he's bad. They
Yeah.
hunt
Going
him
into
on
next
defense.
season.
They
So
literally
what if
say,
he's-
MPJ, come
what if I
here. We're
think
gonna
he's be a better
one on
defender
one.
next season?
I think this is not crazy to have them like flip flop. Realistic. I think it is realistically close in my opinion. Like what you guys are both saying, I agree with both of the things you guys are saying.
Yeah, I can see why you have my 10.
I think OG's definitely better, but we could agree to disagree. Who do you got at 10, Omari?
I got Wiggins.
Okay, you got Wiggins.
Yeah, I feel like. I mean, I just feel like the people above him are better, but Wiggins did have a down year. But I do think that, like, aside from all like the off-court stuff and stuff that was happening, I feel like if that wasn't happening, he'd play better. So
Definitely.
I feel like next year he'll just play better, basically.
Yeah.
We could see he could definitely move back
Definitely.
in. He's the player that I'm honorable mentions that I'll say could leap up in the list the most.
All right, there you
Well,
go.
obviously other than Franz because he's young. Who you got at 9?
9.
At 9, I got Kuz.
Kuz?
Really?
Kuzma,
Yeah,
he didn't
on
even
the
make
list?
my list.
What?
He's not
He
even
didn't make your
honorable
list?
mention.
That's good. I like how we
He
have
didn't make your
diversified
list?
lists. No.
Hell
How?
no. Hell
Dude,
no.
He's a
You're
stat chaser.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's-
god,
that's-
bro.
that's-
what?
Give your reason
Hell
why.
no.
That's propaganda,
Let him
Franz
cook.
Wagner's better than Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah,
Stop,
yeah,
stop,
I
stop.
think
I'm
stop.
serious.
Stop,
Franz Wagner's better than
stop,
Kyle
guys.
Kuzma.
Put some respect on Kuzma's
Next
name.
season, next season.
Yes, next
It'll be
season.
close. It'll be
I'm
You
taking
think
Franz
Kuzma's not gonna
Wagner.
average like 25?
It'll be 25 on like
You
the
got Kuz on your
13th
list?
seed.
Kuz, okay,
All right,
I'll say this.
let him
I'll
speak.
say my 9 while he looks.
No, don't say no. I'm just asking if Kuz is
I
on
want to
your
hear his
list.
reason. I want to hear his reason.
And is OG on your list?
No, he's not on my list.
That's
He didn't
crazy.
make-
OG on
He
an
didn't make the
a
cut.
billion % better than
I
Kuzma.
don't
No
know.
conversation.
I don't know.
No conversation.
I don't know. I think
Wiggins is better than Kuzma.
I think Kuz's
You're
offense-
tripping, bro.
No,
What?
listen. Kuz's
Kuzma.
offense is better than those two.
That's
Kuz
crazy.
hustles more than those. Bro, he does. Come
Well,
on.
you gonna tell
Hustle.
me?
You guys are
Come
hating.
on.
You
You're
guys are
talking
hating.
about hustle?
You guys are
Kuzma
hating.
you guys are hating on Kuz way too much.
This is the Lakers.
No, you guys
Kuzma.
ain't-
I'm a
I'm not
Lakers
even-
fan.
He's
I'm
on the
not picking that
Wizards.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm not even.
Well,
it's
the
not
real
about the Lakers.
Slim Shady.
Give your reasoning. Give your
I
reasoning,
wanna hear
bro.
why.
I want to hear too.
the
This is
nigga-
crazy.
Okay, you can't just say he's a stat chaser. Like the nigga averages 21, 27, 3, and like what 4. Like he went to a new team.
What do you shoot from 3? I'm just asking. What was 3-point percent?
33.
Okay.
Not bad.
I think he could get better. Like he shot better last year. If he works better, he could easily improve that. But he already averaged 21 points.
His
Off
stats are
of that,
empty to me.
he was the best player on his team. Like
No, he wasn't.
Wiggins-
How are you?
He was averaging 14 points on a championship
How can
team.
you
And when he
convince
went
me
to the
Michael
Wizards, he
Porter's better?
started
How can you
averaging
convince me
20.
Michael Porter's better than Kuzma right now?
nigga's a
Because he
4th year
helps win.
player.
He
Oh
helps
my-
winning games.
He's on the winning team with
MPJ
Jokic.
is better. MPJ is better than Kuzma too.
What?
He helps.
What?
teams. Okay,
You guys
Is
are
he
He's on the
overrated.
winning
Fuck out of
team.
Kuzma.
Nah.
Okay.
He's with Jokic. He's with the MVP.
You asked me a question,
Okay,
then you
continue.
keep talking.
Sorry,
like,
sorry. No, because he asked me. He said something, and I had to say something.
like MPJ will have a longer career than Kuzma because of what he specializes in and
I don't agree.
how he can. I think so because Kuzma, like his stats are empty. Like,
Kuzma hustles on defense.
what did he average
on
when
a
he was on
bad
the
team.
Lakers?
He
That
doesn't even
doesn't
hustle
matter.
that much, bro.
18.
Okay, and
That's
then
what
what was
Michael Porter did right
MPJ's
now.
role on as a championship team?
A
17
shooter.
points.
A literal
17
dude,
points, and he has the potential to play defense.
Michael Porter's
and he can
role.
score.
Michael Porter's role is to literally
Yeah,
let
he
go of the
catches
ball
shoots,
in the hoop.
like-
That's
And what
all
was
he does.
Kuzma's role on the Lakers?
He does so many things. He rebounds, he passes, he cuts. He does so much for the team.
Okay,
And you
that-
act like
that's a
what I'm
fair
saying
point.
is like
That's a fair
crazy blasphemous.
But him as the one, like
He
all
takes-
That's
he does is
the
empty
one. None of
stance.
these guys are not ones. Like 9, 10, 11. They're not one
He's
guys.
not going to be a 1 or 2
Kuzma
next
is
year.
the best
One or
player on his
two.
team.
Yeah, but that's what we're talking
Unless
about.
Jordan
So he
Poole like
goes
fucking
into next year.
26 or something, bro.
Yeah, his stats are empty. Last year, if we're talking about last year,
He
I think
plays
his
for the
stats are
Wizards.
empty.
Yeah, it's not
He
his
plays
fault.
for the
He plays for the
Wizards.
Wizards. Like,
Okay,
You can't couple it with saying he has empty stats. He plays on the
'Cause
worst
he's not
team.
doing okay, but if you want to,
He's not doing.
Oh, dude, he's not even letting me talk. You're
Okay.
cutting me off every time I'm trying to make a point. He's not doing what he did on the Lakers to help them win a championship. Like if he did what he did on the Lakers on the Wizards, they'd be a far higher seed. I
Bro,
feel like.
you played with LeBron and Davis. How can you
that's
say
crazy.
these things right now?
But if he
People's
implemented-
personnel they play with.
I see what Hassan's saying.
If he implemented the same stuff that he did on the Lakers onto the Wizards, they'd have far more wins than what.
Well,
they
no,
did in the
I
past.
won't say that, but he's just not
They'd have
doing the
more
same
wins.
thing.
You
I
can't-
would
not
say-
doing the same
You
thing.
can't.
but it's not
you
like
play
he's
with
a-
LeBron and Davis.
The
Yeah,
team
but
is a
he's still
chucker.
playing behind Kristaps and Beal.
No, he is.
Was he
But
not?
you can't compare Kristaps and thing to LeBron and Davis.
I'm just saying he's playing behind
for the,
two people.
One team is going for the championship.
But he can still implement
One team
those same
is
things.
going for like
Hold on,
13th
hold on.
seed.
Let me chime in here because I agree with what Hassan's saying, but I just don't agree that they wouldn't win more games because the team is bad. But his role would be different if he was on a winning team. The Wizards are on a winning team, so he's asked. Well, he's not asked. He just does different stuff because he scores more. He takes the ball in his hands more. He has more initiative. But on a winning team, he's like a stretch 4 kind of 3. He's kind of a little too slow-footed to be a 3.
Was
even
he
though
even
he played
starting
that.
on the Lakers 2020 run?
Yeah.
He was. That was the season we won. Yeah, but he always averaging like 13 points. And I know he was a little different player back then. But
Well, I said that's
you're
years
not
ago,
gonna
like-
ask him to do that on a winning team.
And he's not going to go back to doing that either.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. I think
But
the way
he's
he
getting
scores,
better.
he
Yeah,
has a
like-
limited ceiling. He's older than a lot of these other players too because he spent 4 years in college. I think he is what he is. He's a good shooter. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's very limited. His defense is not that great. Like all these players that we have on this list are better defenders. You can argue MPJ has better defense
Nah,
than him.
Kuzma's underrated defender.
Nah,
That's
this
super
is-
cap.
This Michael
That's
Porter
crazy.
agenda is crazy
Nah,
right now.
that's-
OG
Wow.
Anunoby
That you're saying
clears
that
him in
MPJ is
defense.
like
Okay,
carrying
OG,
him?
yeah,
Andrew
OG's
Wiggins
one of
clears
the
him
best
in
Okay,
defense.
offensive back, Kuzma beats both of them. Clears.
No,
No,
clears.
no,
Andrew
no,
Wiggins?
No, not
No.
Wiggins. OG and Michael.
No.
No,
Yes.
offensive
He out-
clears.
Dude, they both
He does.
averaged 17. This dude
And
averaged
this man
20.
averaged 21.
Yeah,
on the
that's a
Wizards.
Clear?
But
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about team and then not talk about like people he played with. You know what I'm saying? If
But
you
you're
play on
saying
the
clear
Lakers,
offensively.
Kuzma's bag is better than both of those guys.
But he doesn't clear
Like he
them.
has a way more of a
Who
bag.
cares
than
about
them.
the
He can be
bag?
better
Sorry,
offensively.
Okay,
I'll
but
take
look.
the clear back. Way better at
It's not
offense.
way better either. It's
Bro.
just better.
Kyrie has a bigger bag than fucking LeBron, but is he
Yeah.
a better player? Like no,
No, I
This
said
is a stupid
That's why I said
bag.
the
Who cares
offensive
about a
argument.
bag?
Offense argument.
All right, but Kuzma for the last few years, he's only gotten better. Like you can't just if a
Context
nigga
matters, though, man.
okay, but he got traded to a new team. He averaged 17 the first year. He averaged 21 last year. Next year,
He's gonna
he
be
has
better.
less
Going up?
players on his. Who's on his team?
It'll go up, but it's just
Tyus
Jordan
Jones is
Poole.
gonna feed this man.
Tyus Jones,
yeah,
like
be bad. Like
they lost their two biggest players. The
You're
two
right.
people in front of him.
His stats will go up. He won't contribute to winning. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
but
why
he's
I
on the
have
Wizards.
more
That's
on
not
the
his
list.
fault.
He's not supposed to win on the Wizards with Jordan
Okay,
Poole.
but
Like you're not
dude,
expecting
if you
playoffs.
put Wiggins on the Wizards, that dude's clearing what Kyle Kuzma does. Like he did on the Timberwolves. He averaged over 20
If
on
you
the
put
Timberwolves.
OG on the
Like,
Wizards,
what?
he can average 20 points
Easily.
too. Like it's not that on the
If you wanna
Wizards.
put
I don't
context
think
into
OG's
it.
a 20 point per game player.
On the
right
Wizards,
now.
he can be on the.
Dude, he's
I don't
averaging
know.
17
I don't
behind
think OG
Pascal
got
Siakam.
that. I
He's
don't think
averaging
OG
seven.
With Fred VanVleet, Pascal, Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes.
And he
nigga
averaged
averaged
17
13
points.
points.
Well, they drafted him 4th overall, though.
Okay,
He
he still
has the
he
ball in
still
his
has
hand.
13
Scotty
points.
Yeah, he has the ball in his hands,
Scotty
exactly.
Barnes like averaged 13 points, man. We're not going.
Yeah, he gets the ball in his hand.
They want to
Okay,
develop
He's
him
taken
like.
away from OG. is
Okay,
the point.
Kuzma,
But Fred
and Kuzma was the
VanVleet
third
chucked
option.
up the most shots ever
Kuzma was
last
the third
year.
option and averaged 21.
Okay, we're saying if
OG
you
was the
put those
third
players,
option.
I'm
With-
saying they're
behind two.
Kuzma's averaging
You know,
21. Okay, the Wizards
Siakam's
weren't
better,
trying to win
but
games. They're just
Fred
literally
VanVleet-
chucking up shots. Everybody had empty spot or empty stats on that team.
But
Okay,
the
but you
saying
can't
empty
just say
stats for the
just-
worst
yeah,
team doesn't
like,
make
that's
doesn't.
not
it's
fair.
not a
Okay, we're
fair
saying
argument.
like if you want to put
It's
these
like why
players,
should they even come play basketball?
okay, if we're, I'm not
Like
saying
why
that.
should they play? All their stats is empty.
You gotta put it into context though. If
No,
you're
it's
putting
not
OG
empty stats,
over
it's
and
just not
MPJ
winning
onto
teams.
those teams
Okay,
or
but it's
Wiggins, they're averaging more than Kyle Kuzma and they do more than
Yes,
Kyle Kuzma.
yes, yes.
Easily.
I don't
Yes.
think I don't think
Yes.
MPJ and OG are averaging more than 21.
they
Or
are.
Wiggins. Okay, if you want to put Wiggins.
Wiggins is close because Wiggins I think is like
We've seen Wiggins do the same
Well,
thing
even
in
if it's
Minnesota.
not more, they're gonna average
But-
1 point less and give you
but
more in
Wiggins-
every other category.
Let me
Wiggins,
ask you this.
Wiggins for the past like Warriors run has been like a number
It's still 17.
tertiary like
It's still
2 to 3
17 and
type
good
of player,
defense, though.
second or third option.
Yeah,
right?
but it's still 17.
Right. Okay, still 17. Kuzma's been a third option, averaged 21. Last year, 17 to 21, and then he got the keys to it. Like
Okay,
I know,
let me
trash,
ask you this.
trash
Let me ask
organization.
you this.
He could
Yeah,
do
like
better.
he could easily average
Is
like
peak Minnesota
25.
Andrew Wiggins better
23.
than
Kuzma right now.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Yeah.
Wiggins was the best on the Warriors when he won that All Star. That's his best season.
Yeah, it is his best season, like
But
in terms of
offensively, he was
overall
like- he was a-
totality. But I'm talking about in
He was
terms of
scoring
stats.
on the
Oh,
Timberwolves.
okay.
He
On
was
the
scoring.
Timberwolves.
Yeah, he
So
was putting
case
up big
closed,
numbers.
right?
How was his case?
Bro,
what is
if
his
you
case?
put-
What
if
is
you
his
put
I'm
argument?
gonna give you this.
on
I'm gonna
the
give you this. I'm gonna
Wizards?
give you MPJ. But like Hassan said, how is that? What world is Andrew Wiggins not better than Kyle Kuzma?
I don't even know. I was mainly talking about OG and MPJ.
Because we're talking about going into the next season too. Like
Yeah,
And I still-
obviously,
I'll
okay,
still
but
take
it's,
Wiggins.
but it's not. It can't just be like, oh well.
I've
he
seen way more from
He
Wiggins.
contributes to winning because he's on the fucking Warriors.
He's
like,
just
He just better.
obviously
I've seen him
he's
do
gonna
more.
contribute to
He's just
winning
better at
on the
basketball.
Warriors.
He's
Okay,
better at
but he's
basketball.
on the Warriors.
In every
Kuzma won
category.
too.
In every
Okay, if
category.
Kuzma was on the Warriors, he
wouldn't
would
be doing
also
that.
be winning games.
He wouldn't be doing what
would,
Wiggins
he
is
would.
doing.
Hey, no, let me
Bro.
say this.
What?
Let me say this. Let me say
You
this.
act like Kuzma's
Bro,
on the
let me
yeah,
say
like
this.
you niggas act like he shoots 45%.
Is Kuzma going to play the same defense as Wiggins?
No,
No, he's gonna
try.
Like,
He's gonna try.
But
He's going to score at the same clip the
Kuzma's
same
a
way
good.
that he. The
Kuzma's a
continuity?
decent
20?
defender though. You
No,
guys act
he's
like
not gonna.
MPJ
It's like
is
17.
like
He's
nearly
not averaging 17.
near him. Like MPJ is not nearly as decent as Kuzma is.
Okay, I can
on
give you the
defense.
MPJ.
What do you- yeah,
part. I can
when it
give
comes
you
to
the
defense,
whatever,
Kuzma,
MPJ, sure.
Kuzma's a good, like he's a decent defender. He can play good defense.
No,
You know,
man. OG and Wiggins are better.
Yeah.
Bro, have you seen MPJ ever do a
OG
cut
I'm
in your
not
life?
taking
That man
OG.
doesn't even cut.
Okay,
And Kuzma's literally.
I'll give you the MPJ.
Oh, he cut.
I'll
We're
give you
going into
MPJ.
next season. We're talking about going into next
Yeah.
season.
The only
nigga,
reason I have
has a
MPJ
green light to
yeah.
like literally the next best person is Jordan Poole now instead of playing behind Bradley Beal behind
We're
Chris
just looking at
Porzingis,
stats.
and still
Oh,
okay.
man.
But what else you going? That's not his fault that the team is ass.
He's on
Okay,
the
but you
worst
have to
team
use
in the East.
context.
He's on
You
the
have to use
worst team.
context.
Okay, but he's on the worst team in the
If
league.
you put
and he's
these
gonna-
players, if you put OG
okay, but
Anunoby
he's
on the
still going to
Wizards,
continue to get better.
if you put Andrew Wiggins on the Wizards, they're going to do the same thing that Kyle Kuzma's doing.
But they're
Who's
not on the
better?
Wizards.
Huh?
I said, but they're not. Like that's the point.
Okay, but
like,
you have to take
next
into
season,
context as to
okay,
why.
but next season
Yeah,
when
you
they
have to
go
take
in,
count-
You're using the context argument for Michael Porter Jr. You
It's
said,
like, okay,
winning
like,
team, winning
when
factor.
when Bradley Beal averaged 30, I'm going to put him at number 1 just because he averaged 30?
What are we talking about right
When
now?
he did on the Wizards.
Because you guys-
On what regard? What are you ranking him?
The
now?
Wizards, just on the Wizards,
what are you ranking
putting
for?
up numbers. He's saying because he's
That's
gonna
like the best
he's gonna-
shooting guard in the
Oh,
league.
like let's say theoretical top 5 shooting guard.
Yeah, and
in the
no,
league?
number
He
1.
was the top 5 shooting
I'll
guard
put
in
him
the
at number 1.
Who was the
he-
shooting guard at the time? It was before Booker.
I
It was
said number
before.
1. Am I
I'm
going
trying
to put
to
him
think
at
of who
number
the
1?
fucking people were. Let me give it a second.
James Harden, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brown.
Okay, if it was James Harden had more points, so he's already ahead of him. By
Yeah,
that
yeah.
logic, so that's one. Who else? It was before
I don't
Booker.
know,
So.
probably Klay
Mitch,
Thompson. I
yeah,
don't know.
Clay.
I'll take
You
Clay.
But then
Yeah.
you use
Prime
context.
Clay.
You want to use context for Klay Thompson? He 4-time champion, 3-time champion, 2-time champion.
I don't
You
use
be sitting here
championship.
saying that right
That's
now.
how he affects winning for
Yeah,
sure.
Kuzma got a
But
ring.
that's why you have to use
How many rings
context
OG got?
into your clips,
how many rings OG got?
into your picks.
One. He actually got a ring.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true.
Wiggins got a ring too.
I was about to tell you. I was
Kuzma
about to
ring
tell you.
better. Kuzma ring better.
Look
Nah,
at
I
this.
forgot he won with weak
I'm
ass.
just saying, use context for your top 10 because these players, if they're put in their position,
But at the end of the
It's
day,
not their
like,
choice. Like he didn't choose to play the Wizards.
you acted dumb though. Like,
but if a nigga, no, but if a
Okay.
nigga like, if a dude ends up like, I expect him to go to 23, 24, maybe 25.
I think so, too.
I expect
5
Wiggins to have a cool 18, 19.
I think Jordan Poole's gonna
You know,
average like
like,
24, 25. Is he on my top 10 point guard list?
Hell no.
Shooting guard list?
And we're gonna see what he does
He had
next
the
year.
worst
You
year
never
of his
know.
career. You can't even say that.
Okay, but he
Kuzma
has
had
a
a good
race
year.
to.
Kuzma had a good year.
Jordan Poole's better than Kyle Kuzma, in my opinion.
I mean, not from last
I'm
season,
not
but
rolling with that either.
I'll
And
elaborate
going into
argument.
next season, I think so.
That's debatable though. I feel like that's more debatable than
it's
fucking
not.
Andrew
From last
Wiggins.
season,
Yeah,
from
it
last
is.
season,
No,
Jordan
it's
Poole. From last season, Jordan Poole.
Yeah, I mean,
If we're going
Robson, I
yeah,
can
if
change
we're
your
going by
mind,
last
so we
season,
can
like-
move on.
Oh, we gotta move on, man. Kyle Kuzma out here.
My number 9 is Kyle Kuzma. Omari. Don't worry about it, bro.
All right, my number
don't have to talk
9.
about that.
I got Chris Middleton at number 9. I
That nigga
mean,
stinks.
like
that's crazy.
when he's on, I think he's a top 10 small forward. He's helped lead a team to a championship. He helps take pressure off Giannis when they need a bucket. You know, Giannis is the type of guy that can get in the mid range, hit a 3-pointer, and he's that guy for them. Drew, he's more of a catch and shoot, and they, like you said, that he does whatever they ask of him. And Chris Middleton was that guy, but last year just bad season, injured in the playoffs. He wasn't that good. He did have a few games. The one game they won, he played well in.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just had a down year, and so. I got to show a little respect to him, so I'm putting it at 9. I think he'll bounce back. I think he'll be decent again.
So you think he'll get back to the level that he once was at?
Probably a little worse, but I think he's important for them, and I think when he translates to winning, what he does for them, he's a smart player too. He's an underrated playmaker because they don't really have a true point guard. He does a little bit of the playmaking for them, and he's smart with the ball. So I think he's important to them, and without him, they're not as good of a team. Their ceiling's not as high, and I think he'll bounce back and have a good year. And I think he's better than guys like Kyle Kuzma, even Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner, I think, could be better, but I'm going to give respect to Chris Middleton. I'm going to say the injury was what hurt him, and I still believe that he's a top 10 small forward in the league. So
I
he's
think
at
he'd
9.
have to be back to what he once was to be
Crack top
On the
10.
list.
He's
On
a
the list,
3-time
Mike.
All-Star, man. I mean, even if he's like...
Yeah, because he was
Yeah,
good.
we're talking
If
about
he
going
gets
into
back
next
to that,
I'm
season.
saying he could
I'll
get
come
close
on.
to it. I'm not saying
Oh.
exactly like peak, but like close to it. He was still, I think
I
he
think
get
Wiggins
close to
has
it.
a higher chance of averaging 20 than he does right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
I do too. That's why I have Wiggins at my number 9.
Okay.
I think Wiggins will get back to the level that he once was 2 years ago. I think the injuries and the off-court stuff really set off the team to, not the team, but him personally to not be at the level that he once was. And we also had a bunch of injuries. The punch to Jordan Poole like kind of offset the whole like Warriors
man.
consistency and chemistry factor. So the trade for Chris Paul offsets that, and Chris Paul actually get Wiggins into positions that, like, because Wiggins and Mikal are kind of like the same players, so they'll have that kind of chemistry
Not
level.
anymore.
I mean, when he was on the Suns, because we were contemplating or debating about Wiggins and Mikal. I finally have Mikal higher than Wiggins in the games that he played, so I'll give you that. But I think Wiggins is going to just elevate or be the same player that he was 2 years ago, which makes him 9.
Yeah, these guys' disrespect kind of makes me want to put him on my list just because, like, I really, he was really, like, between him and OG. I think they're, like, basically very equal to me. I think, imagine, OG almost on the Warriors, man. Imagine him and Wiggins on the same team. That would be crazy.
They'll just do the same thing, which will make them better.
On an off note, you see that video of Jordan Poole practicing his boxing?
Yeah, I saw that.
Like Uzi
I also saw him in like a Wizards costume too, taking a pic for IG.
Yeah, I see that too.
You can say 8 whenever you're ready.
Or you said 9, huh?
You go 8.
Yeah, you go 8 then.
We do it like Snake.
Okay.
Snake.
All right, my number 8, I have Mikal Bridges.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think he's better than the. He's better than the people below him, but I don't think he's at the level of the people above him. I think this season he's gonna have a great chance to prove me wrong and go up on the list, but we'll see what he does this season. But I feel comfortable at number 8 right now.
Cool. All right.
I actually have DeMar DeRozan at number 8.
I also have DeMar DeRozan here at number 8.
The reason I have him at number 8 is because he's getting older. Other players are getting better. Where this list is based off of next season, I don't think he's gonna have the same 2 seasons that he had in the past. I know he trains hard, keeps his body up to shape. He's always the same player. But I just think other players are going to elevate the people I have on top of him on my list. So
yeah, and I also think like his game, the fact that he doesn't take a lot of threes is kind of harmful for. Well, I don't want to say harmful, but it's detrimental to today's NBA. At least for one of your best players. That's why we see with the Bulls, even though they have played well at times, their ceiling is still like a low-seeded playoff team, play-in team with this core, and they really doubled down on it. They paid Vucevic. They brought back all the guys. They got Javon Carter to replace the Lonzo minutes, and so we know the ceiling of this team. We know that DeMar being your best player. We've seen before in Toronto even like there's a cap on it, and he's just getting older. Like you said, he's still a great player. That's why he's on the list. Hitting game winners all the time, back-to-back nights, mid-range shot is deadly.
He's on that boy nice list, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite players to watch, just like on a fun standpoint. Yeah. And he got that killer mentality, so I respect that. But in terms of the other guys, I think they're going to take a step up, whereas he's going to fall into a lesser role, especially if he wants to win. I think that's what he needs to do for the team to take a step up. Someone else on the team is going to have to make a jump while he, settles into more of a I'm going to get it where I fit in type of role.
Yeah.
So I got him here.
Well, I got Mikal 8 because
I
am surprised.
Identical as Liz.
He's nice as hell. He averaged 26 in the 20 whatever games. But
we're going to have to defend
This
Mikal,
is the time. This is the time where I'm going to use that 20-something games against him.
Finally.
Wow, I thought I never seen a day. I thought I never seen a day.
When we're talking about a top 10 list, I gotta stay consistent with my takes. I always give it to consistency. You know what I mean? Like to people who've proven they could be this good at this level for a longer time. So I have DeMar at 7, but it's like I think Mikal obviously has a chance to be better than DeMar, but DeMar has averaged 25 plus. You know what I mean? Like he can still get 25 plus next year very well.
I see your point. Yeah.
Mikal has a chance to not for whatever reason, even though I don't think he will.
If
but
Ben Simmons comes back up, then Mikal's production.
Well, I think
well,
right
he's
now,
not gonna be scoring.
Presently constructed,
he's gonna have the ball.
Mikal's the number 1. I think presently constructed, I think he will average like 24,
even if Mikal's the one though,
26.
Ben is still gonna have the ball in his hands, and the usage is the reason why I say his points will go down.
Yeah. Well, Ben Simmons will help set him up for easier buckets.
Yeah, that's
I think it'll just offset.
All that is like play style and like debatable.
We're the same wavelength right now.
When it comes to like DeMar, I'm gonna give DeMar the edge just because he's proven that even though he doesn't take that many threes, he could always start shooting threes. People do when they get older sometimes.
Nah,
LeBron.
He's too old for that. He's like 35, man.
Like I said, anybody like it's not that hard to.
It would be an interesting development, but he's constantly said he doesn't want to.
D Wade started shooting threes late in his career, so
yeah. So I'm gonna give it to the proven guy. So I got Mikal 8. I got DeMar 7 for
Well,
the reasons that I stated.
I got DeMar at 8, Mikal at 7.
I also have Mikal at my 7.
I think he's just same as Omari.
I think he's just gonna have a better season than DeMar. I think I'm not gonna say average 27 points, but I think he could definitely be a 20-point per game scorer, be the number one option for the Nets. And like we talked about briefly in the Ben Simmons thing, I think the Nets could surprise people, especially because if their defense is good, that's where they could hang their hat on. They got a lot of good defenders. Hoping Ben Simmons is healthy. They got one of the best bigs protecting the rim.
Too.
Right, they got scorers. They got fucking Lonnie Walker, Cam Thomas off the bench. These guys can, right? Spencer Dinwiddie, Mikal's gonna get buckets. Cam Johnson can shoot.
Him too. Like
they drafted well. They drafted Dariq Whitehead, who was a top-ranked prospect coming in from high school, and he just didn't play well in college. So they took a flyer on him in the 20. So that's good for them. So yeah, I really think they got a lot of potential, and I think Mikal could show a lot of people that I'm not gonna say he's like the franchise player, but he could be like a number 2 on a championship level team if he holds it down. They still end up making a playoff appearance. I think he could show a lot of people what he's capable of, and I think he will do that next season. He's a two-way player in terms of being able to guard multiple positions. Could averages I don't know how many steals, a couple steals a game.
Plays
could block,
every game.
yeah.
Yeah, better defender than
that too.
DeMar,
That's a good point. He's an Iron Man. He played 83 games last season.
83. Yeah,
so more. Yeah. So I value that. I think he's a team player too. I think he'll do whatever it takes for the team to win. So even if the Nets end up trading for fucking Joel Embiid or whatever, and he has to take a backseat, I think he's willing to do that. We've seen him be in that role, and I value that a lot more than someone like DeMar, which we've never seen him play in a diminished role. He's not he's not very good with the ball in his hands. He's getting older, so I'm gonna value that of Mikal's above DeMar.
Yeah, basically said it all. I'll just add to the point where
you got him here too.
Mikal, yeah, I have Mikal at 7. And I just think DeMar is getting older, and Mikal is higher upside, and everything that you said, I
really glazed him right there. Sorry about that.
There's not much more to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see I see everything you guys said, but there's also a possibility where he just comes into the season and if he's their number 1 and they figure this man out and he averages 17, 18 points.
Like Austin Reeves.
I don't see that happening. But
I mean,
figured out.
That was not averaging whatever thing. But I like Mikal. I like what he did. I hope he does what he did in those 20, 30 games, whatever.
That would be nice.
I have a weird feeling that people are gonna start game planning around this, and it might not go his way anymore. But we'll see. I mean, I have the same thing as Omari DeRozan at 7, Mikal at 8.
I think we're all gonna have this.
But I said this, or when I first said this, Mikal could jump on this list a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Depends on how his season goes. But right now, I feel confident
I think range. Number 6. Everybody, I think is gonna be unanimous.
All right, who's your number 6 then, Gabe?
My number 6.
Yeah.
Oh, my number 6 is Bi.
I also have Brandon Ingram at number 6.
Yeah, I got Brandon Ingram at 6 too.
It just makes sense.
It does make sense.
But I think, honestly, I love Brandon Ingram's game. I really wish I could put him above the person I have above him, but I can't just because the team hasn't been winning. He hasn't been incredibly healthy. And I looked up his stats. I even tweeted this for that one playoff series against the Suns. He averaged 27, 7, and 7 or something, insane.
Peak.
So he's shown that he could be a playoff performer, and I really want to see him in a winning situation because I think you put him with a superstar and a good team that can make the finals, be in deep playoff runs. He's going to show that he's a top 5 small forward in the league. He got that KD-like game to him where he could just get to his spots, rise up, shoot over everybody. He's a super underrated playmaker.
Still young too.
Yeah, the passing. I've been on Prize Picks on him all the time. His assist line, he be going over that all the time just because he has the ball in his hands a lot, and he could, he knows how to find his teammates, and they run him at point with CJ. They kind of mix and match. They don't have a real point guard, so they mix them together.
His playmaking has got way.
I love when Ingram facilitates, bro. I love when he facilitates.
Decent rebounder, and he could get a bucket for you any type of way. 3-level score, midi, automatic. He could get to the rim, finesse. He could even dunk on people. 3-point shot, he got a good free throw shooter. I mean, just seeing him healthy in a winning situation, I think he could be a top 5 small forward. And I got a lot of good to say about him. Also underrated defender.
He's also been consistent, back to what you said with DeMar averaging 25 and consistency. That's why you have him over Mikal.
Been cooking.
That's why I have Bi over Mikal for me because he's always been consistent and he always seems to get better every season too. With the not necessarily weaknesses, but things that he doesn't need to do, he does get better at, the playmaking.
Yeah.
So I think this year he'll get more rebounds and he'll be more aggressive rebounding the ball. and he'll keep up whatever he's been doing in the past.
I think his defense will improve this
That
season
too.
because he hasn't been
has
like
a body
an
type
elite.
for it too.
He hasn't been an elite defender, but I think that'll improve if the team starts winning. Like if they're like
you try hard
in the playoffs.
This is the year for the Pelicans, man.
More,
This is the year for the Pelicans. Him and Zion, it's money time. If this doesn't work out now, then they're dropping a lot on my list. Like he'll be my top 10 just off talent alone, but he'll drop a lot of spots.
Well, it could be not because of him. Like, what if he's playing well and like fucking CJ's on bullshit, Zion's on bullshit?
Yeah, but what are the odds of that?
Matters. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what the situation. There's a lot in the air for them. What about
you guys have anything to say that hasn't been said about BI?
I got BI, so
no, I mean, there's a lot of praise. At this point, it's just like
the guys above him. Better.
He's really good. Yeah, the guys above him is just better.
I miss Brandon.
He needs to win more. I think. When he
I
starts
love
winning
him.
more,
You love AD too.
I love Brandon. Well, when Brandon Ingram was a Laker, bro, I was glazing so hard that fool. I loved him, bro. One of my favorite players to watch.
What are you talking about?
5? Yeah, what are we doing?
I know who you
five?
have a 5.
I don't like my next three.
Go ahead.
I don't like my next
Omari.
three.
Make sure you guys say you're like number 5 so
got
I
Paul
can put it in
George.
a TikTok. Cause
I got Paul George at number 5.
okay, yeah.
My number 5, I got Paul George.
At my number 5, I think I also have Paul George. Yes, I have Paul George at my number 5.
At my number 5, I have Jimmy Butler.
Dun dun dun.
Damn.
But my number 4 is Paul George.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
laid up. Everything just calculated. How do you have Jimmy Butler at number 4? How is Paul George better than Jimmy Butler?
I mean,
Explain.
think Jimmy Butler's well, it's kind of hard to say.
There's
I
a way
feel
to
like-
argue this, but I want to see if he can do it.
Bro,
Yeah, I'm
I
about
have
to
to
say,
like.
There's one way to argue. Well, a few, but
okay.
That boy nice.
Okay,
Yes.
listen.
Gag.
The reason I
you
have
gotta put it better, but
the reason I have okay, so now you know who's mine. 5 is Jimmy Butler, so you know who I have above him.
Yeah.
The reason I have Paul George above Jimmy Butler is one, I think their skill. I think Paul George is a more skilled basketball player.
Okay.
I
fair.
think Paul George is more skilled offensively by a good amount, playmaking, offense, shooting. I think he's better than Jimmy at that. I think defense, they're pretty close, I guess, because Jimmy
Right.
is the dog on defense.
fair,
Paul George is
right.
also a dog on defense. But I just don't think. How do I say this without I think Jimmy Butler's not better than Paul. Fuck, how do I even say this?
No, I agree with you.
Just said it. What do you mean?
Here,
Like
let
I
me
just
say
don't think
this.
he's. I don't think he's a better hooper. I don't think he's a better player. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know what he's done.
Let me ask
I know
him one thing. I just want to ask you.
I know. Okay.
Paul George on the Clippers, is he the leader of his team?
He is not the leader.
Is Jimmy Butler the leader of his team?
This is correct. You're right.
And he's accomplished way more.
Have you heard of Paul George on his podcast? He has said before, "I'm not a first option. I think I'm a second option."
I hate this guy for saying these stupid ass quotes,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Here,
Hey,
that
but
ties
it's
back
like-
to why
That
I
guy's
have,
better than Jimmy, who just went to
yeah.
the NBA Finals.
That's
actually, 2 times in the last
And
3 seasons.
that
That's
ties
great.
why I have
That's-
As an
Jimmy.
8
Jimmy
seed
is
as
better.
well.
It's straight off mentality. Like
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler's
Yeah.
mentality is way better than Paul George's, and his
What a
mentality
stupid-ass
always
quote this guy said.
breaks down Paul George too. The bubble, his mentality broke him down. What did that do to Jimmy?
That was
the bubble
4 years ago.
elevated
That was
Jimmy.
4
Off
years
the
ago.
side of the
We're talking
backboard.
about right now. 4 years ago
Okay.
is not. That's the past, buddy.
I agree with you with Paul George having he's skillful for
What did he do in the playoffs this season? What did he do in the
He's
playoffs
straight
this
up just
season?
better than Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler.
Yeah, I'm
But
about
Jimmy
to say.
Butler's mentality pushes him
I-
higher than
I hate being on this end
The
because I know he
leadership
hasn't done
too.
shit.
He embraces the leadership role and
I know.
holds his
he's a
teammates
winner.
accountable.
Straight
yeah.
up. Paul
I
George
just-
is a loser.
okay,
he's not
he
a loser,
embraces
but
the role.
He said he's a
Okay,
loser.
Jimmy Butler's a better winner. I think Paul George's a better player.
Yeah.
Paul George is a better
mentality wise,
basketball
mentality is the only thing reason
stop
why I have
adding words in
Jimmy.
my mouth. I just said what I said. I said
Is it
Jimmy
not facts?
Butler's a better winner. Paul George is a better player. That's why I have him higher on my list going into next season.
And that's fair, but I think if we're talking the NBA, like if we're talking pickup ball, you got me, bro. I can't do Paul George. Give me Paul George over Jimmy Butler if we're
Yeah.
going to fucking LA Fitness and I need a teammate.
If you're building a team, who are you picking?
wish
Jimmy
we were
Butler or
talking
Paul
about
George?
NBA.
If he was healthy, I'd pick Jim. I'd pick Paul. I'd pick Paul.
you wouldn't.
If he's healthy, I'd pick.
But
I'd
we're
pick
talking
Paul.
NBA
I want
teams
Paul
when it
George
comes to
skill
the
set.
playoff, 16-game playoffs, 4 series that you got to win. I'm taking Jimmy Butler.
It's
Yeah,
these
the
health
only thing-
questions, bro.
It's not even health
it's not
either.
It
even health.
is,
It's
bro.
just-
He doesn't play.
It's the playoff performance. Like,
Bro, even if Paul George played
It's-
82 games, I'm still not choosing him over Jimmy Butler.
yeah, like when at the end of the day, skill wise, Paul George cooks some.
Easily,
You know,
yeah.
like Paul George, skill wise, Paul George cooks a lot of people.
He's one of the best
But yeah,
skill players
like,
in the league, period.
He could still be he could be a number 1 option. Like they're not gonna win no chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a number 1 option, he's
They'll
gonna
be a playoff
average.
team.
He'll average 26, 27, 28 points.
Yeah.
Like
They'll be a
Because of
playoff
the mentality.
He'll be an MVP candidate.
But
He'll
when it
cook.
comes to Jimmy, like when it comes to stats,
He
it's like
elevates
you
his
can't-
team.
Yeah, you can't just rate Jimmy off of he averages 22 and Paul George
Yeah.
averages like 26.
More than a
And we know Jimmy don't care
'cause when
about the
Jimmy
regular
gets
season.
to the playoffs, like nigga averages like 38 you
for
know
a
what I
little
mean?
for a little bit,
It's
and then he
like-
drops.
But he takes his team
But
all
he
the way
takes
to the
his
I'm
team,
just
finals.
saying,
What about Paul George?
No, I
Don't
just
tell me
said-
about no
I just
drop
said
with
one
Paul
thing.
George.
Yeah, I just said one thing. But you
Man,
don't
like
gotta
the,
come on me, Paul.
Paul
You don't
George
gotta-
dropped.
the
bin
effort
drops.
the effort that Jimmy puts in, like on a nightly basis in those games that matter, like is literally doing anything that he possibly can to make sure his team wins. You know, like
Yeah, and to add to what Omari said too, like it's more than just what he does on the court; it's what he does off the court to elevate his teammates, the dog mentality that he has,
He
to
got that
stick up
dog
for
in
his
him.
teammates, and people will follow him because of that. When have you seen Paul George acts like, not to be mean, but like a pussy? Like
Sometimes, yeah,
Hey, no, their
Hey, Paul,
post
did you
game
hear
quotes are night and
this?
day.
Paul, did you hear this, man?
I like Paul George.
Their post game quotes are night and day. Paul's like, "That's a bad shot." Jimmy's like, "I don't care what anybody says. We're winning this fucking series down 3-0." Like it's
like
night
what he
and day
did,
mentality.
what he did
You're
with,
right, the
with
mentality is there. He
Grant
has it.
Williams and like talking back. Paul George will never do that ever,
Okay.
and that's why he's just not.
Okay, but he's a better player. That's all I said, bro. I didn't
Yeah,
say
but
nothing
you're
about
not-
mentality.
Okay, better player. If you have better
Who's your number
skills,
four?
dude.
Who's your number four? Who's
this
your
is
number
back to
four?
the Kyrie. Well, hold
Who's
up.
your number four?
Hold
Is
up.
Jimmy four
This is
for
back
you?
to the Kyrie thing. Like,
Is Paul
Kyrie's
George four?
probably one
Is
of
Jimmy-
the best skilled player in the league. Doesn't mean he's the
Why
best
are we
player
talking
in
about
the
Kyrie?
league.
Go to your number four.
Right, this
I
guy
don't
just
know.
wants to defend his point. You said that you have
You
Jimmy
know,
Butler.
said he's a
bullying
better
him.
player.
We're bullying him. It's
Yeah.
too much.
He's
We
a
gotta go
better
number
player
4.
than
My-
Jimmy Butler.
My
We-
4 is Jimmy Butler. I have
Oh
him
my
at
God.
Yeah,
number
we got.
4.
That's why I say Jimmy at 4. I got Jimmy at 4.
I got Jimmy at 4.
All right, top 3 then.
Great. Dog.
Top 3.
DAWG.
Yeah,
Dog
Omari.
mentality.
Top 3. Who
good.
go
I'll
ahead?
say my number 3.
Yeah, go
In my
ahead.
number 3, I have Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, unfortunately, I also
I
have
got Kawhi
Leonard.
at 3.
I have Kawhi Leonard at my number 3 as
Yeah,
well.
It just
unfortunately,
makes sense.
you don't play basketball, Kawhi.
Yeah.
But you're still top
otherwise,
3.
you'd be one of the best in the game.
He'd still be top. He'd still
Let
be
me
top 3.
let's talk about this. If Kawhi
Well, that's
Leonard,
debatable. If he played, it would be more of a debate than it is.
Yeah.
now.
I mean, when he plays, he averages what he usually averages. It's not like he doesn't. You know what I mean? So
but
it's like,
that holds him back a lot. He didn't play in the playoffs. He doesn't play in regular season. He
Yeah.
doesn't play
Bro, if he had
basketball.
playoff success, we'd have some different talks right now.
he's
So
always,
he has, but just
even
not lately.
When it
If
comes
he-
to
lately.
Yeah.
when it comes to scoring and production, he's always at like 27, 26. You know,
it's a
Yeah,
he's
efficient
never
though.
been
Yeah,
a
yeah.
30-pointer. You know,
It's really efficient.
he's
and he
never
plays
ever
the
been a
best-
30-pointer.
probably
I mean,
the best
we
defense in the
know
league
who
when
he
it
is
matters
when he
most.
plays, bro.
yeah, like that's what I'm
Two-way player,
saying.
one of the best in the league.
So do you
But
think,
when
like
we're thinking about
potentially,
peaks and stuff-
or hypothetically, if he played all 82 games, would
I think
he
he would
still
still
be number
average-
I'd be
3,
in
or
top
would
2.
he be?
I think he'd be top 2.
Depending
Yeah.
on the other
I think
season
he'd be
someone
one-
else has.
If
Depending on the
his
season
injuries,
someone else has,
if he
right?
played every fucking game and the playoffs, oh yeah,
He'd be
they'd
number
probably
one
have a
for me.
championship by now. To be
Yeah,
honest,
they would.
like
He'd be number 1 for me. if
I
he
mean,
did.
unless someone like theoretically, like if this season you're talking about is wonder season that he averaged like 30, what did you say? 30 plus?
If he
82
does
games?
everything that he does like now, but he just plays all the
Or
games.
like 27, like 6 and 5.
Yeah.
But then what if you have like someone has a really good season, like an MVP Braun year or something, right? Like you pick Braun, right?
We're talking about Braun right
We're
now.
just talking
Oh,
about
so you're talking about like
Yes,
right now.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
Okay.
Right now, Kawhi Leonard played all 82 games.
I mean, isn't that like what Tatum did this year? Kind of, right?
But he's not Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
You're talking about
That's
regular,
two different
regular
games.
season, like
He's asking just about Kawhi if he played 82
Kawhi played
games.
every game of the season and every game in the playoffs.
Where would you rank
Where
him?
would you rank him now?
playoffs too. I
Yes.
mean, damn near 1 or 2. Like
Yeah, he'd be
yeah,
my
he played
the
every
best.
single game.
He'd be 1 or
He'd
2.
be number 1 for me.
like
How many
Tatum.
rounds? How many
Tatum
rounds he
did
gonna
30
make?
plus on
Tell me
80
who wants to
games,
win the chip.
70
Like-
games.
Well, I mean,
They
usually
probably
he
would've
gets
won a
hurt
chip.
and they lose. Like every time he's healthy, they win.
That year the Suns
Besides
made the
the Denver
finals.
Nuggets.
That year the Suns made the finals because Kawhi tore his ACL against the Jazz.
Yeah.
They literally were in that. They won. They lost in 6 without
I mean,
Kawhi.
Kawhi has a ring because what's the name? Tore his ACL. I mean, tore his Achilles. So.
But he still balled out though. Like
Yeah.
that's not his.
He had
his
the greatest
problem
shot in
or his fault.
Game 7.
yeah, that's
Game
against
7
the-
history.
that's
And then
against
even
the-
against the Nuggets, like it's obviously Paul George's fault why they lost, not Kawhi's. He shows up when you need him to show up, right? Besides him
You can
getting
play-
hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
play
Like,
with fan base.
when it comes to Kawhi, like it's mainly about health, but I'm just saying that his peaks. Oh shit! I'm tripping. His peaks, like
cool.
Hold on, I'll finish my point in a second. I don't even need it.
Like I pick Kawhi over Tatum, like easily at that point after who he is. But then like, cause I just put too much value on Braun, so it'd be like whatever Braun does that year. Like, but you're saying this year though, so
It's just the load
Or going
management, bro.
Yeah, going to it is the load management. That's what
like
you
bro, if
just,
I could just save Kawhi until like the
Asterisk.
playoffs, and then hopefully I could just abuse the shit out of him. Like yeah, I want to
I
do
mean,
that.
but they've been doing that for the last couple of
and
years.
it still fails.
Yeah.
like
But
it's crazy.
my point with Kawhi is like, I don't know if it's just his mentality, you know, I don't know why, but he always stays at like 27, 28. You know what I mean? Like LeBron,
It's enough.
Tatum.
You
other
mean
people-
games?
No, like points.
Good
Like points, like
one.
production.
Yes.
No, I wasn't sure. I had to ask.
This is wild. Hey, that could also be the case.
We gotta clip
But yeah, like
I didn't even mean it like that. Like,
I don't know
genuinely
if
was
he just
curious.
like, you know, I feel like Kawhi is
Dance.
always like pretty aloof. Obviously he cares about the game. I'm not gonna say like he don't care about hooping,
Yeah.
but he always like he'll get his 40, you know, maybe 50-point game. But when it comes to average, he's always like 27 or so.
Yeah.
But
he got the
LeBron-
skill. He got the skill.
Yeah,
I think he's
LeBron,
ever had a
Tatum,
50-point
like
game.
other people, you know, they're
He's
trying,
never-
they're going pushing
No, I
30s,
googled
you know,
it.
like
46.
they're pushing 30 points per game and stuff, and that's why. And plus, aside from defense, like on the other aspects of basketball, like the people I have above are doing a little bit more, and are better, but. That's why
speaks
Kawhi.
to like Kawhi's greatness for him to be number 3 with how many games he plays. Like
that's what I'm saying. But like even like if he would have played all those games and still average the same thing, then I'm still gonna have him third. But like
really?
I wouldn't.
If
I think
him playing more games got him like like more reps, more warm, and he started like playing even better, then obviously I'd have him. I might have him higher. But
I think it still averages the same. It just be.
You think he's more valuable?
Yeah, he really is.
It wouldn't matter. The Clippers wouldn't get stuck in the play-in every season.
They'd be a championship team. Yeah, they'd be in the finals by now. At least.
I mean, at least
Playoff locks, at least, so they don't have to fight for the play-in.
Yeah.
Bro, Paul George was out there fighting with the Pelicans by himself.
Tooth and nail, man.
Yeah.
And he didn't even play that whole season. He just came back just to have fun.
I know.
Kawhi was fighting last season without PG though, so shit.
Man.
It goes both ways.
Is this the year? Is this the year they finally play?
You've been saying that every year. Is this the year? Is this the year?
Bro,
They
Russ
got
is gonna have to
trying
carry
to cross Bron.
Pray for Russ, man. He went there so they would praise him because he actually plays at least.
Ty Lue said that they're gonna focus on the regular season more this year, but I don't know how true that is.
It's good. They should. Like for once, they should care about like getting reps in and playing and not showing up to the regular season.
Yeah, because you got to build a foundation at this point because your foundation is gone because those players haven't played in a couple of years.
You got to hustle through the plane, and then Kawhi gets into playoffs all hurt. Like you got to just make sure you could rest them at the end of the regular season if you take the regular season serious. And then Kawhi's into the playoffs healthy as opposed to...
He needs to play at least 60 games next year.
The first 60 should do it, like, and then you space him out a little, or like the first 50, 55,
just don't
see where
play
you
back
are.
to
You got to
backs.
take breaks.
I know. Oh yeah, but like
Just don't play back to
sample it,
backs.
Sample
You
it.
know?
He's never winning an award ever again. Any type of All NBA is nothing.
I mean, we just want to
Yeah.
see him in the playoffs at
Yeah,
this point,
at
bro.
this point.
Because bro, you know he's gonna make the playoffs, average like 32 or 30. Like it's he's just gonna do
Some
it.
Jimmy Butler shit.
all right, man.
So what we got number 2? Who we doing? What we doing number 2?
wants to say they're
who
two?
wants, who wants to
I'll
glaze
I'll go.
or not glaze?
Nah,
Then you're looking
let's
at
go
a-
with Gabe this time. 'cause
Yeah,
I
let's
think
go
it's-
with Gabe.
went the
Let's
last
go.
2 times.
But you're a
It's-
LeBron
it's his
fan, so
turn.
I want to know. I want to have
All
the
right, go ahead.
mystery of how you have LeBron 2 or 1. So go ahead, Gabe.
My number 2 is LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
All right, explain why.
Just the guy number 1's a little better.
That's about
It's
it.
like I don't know. It's LeBron, you know, but like
I also
I,
agree with
disagree.
you. I have LeBron James at number 2.
I got LeBron at 2 also.
The reason why I have LeBron at 2 is he's just getting older. The guy in front of him is
half
younger.
his age almost.
He's getting better.
He's 19.
Every season. He's still 19 years old. So that's a big factor as to why. Father Time doesn't account for LeBron, but it's going to hit him sooner rather
Shit, that
than later.
motherfucker was about to retire. So
it's not.
Yeah, he was contemplating
Nah, I'm not
retirement,
rolling.
fake retirement.
That was
but
a
it
good
was
tactic.
obviously
Low
good.
IQ.
Yeah,
High
low IQ right there. But
Yeah.
him thinking about that is it's coming. I think he only has 2 more years left.
All right,
Yeah,
what
I
about
think,
you, Vince? How you feel?
No, yeah, I got LeBron at 2 as well. I think, I mean, he could do everything. We all know this. I'm not going to glaze him. He's literally the best player of all time. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
No offense, Jordan. But, yeah, at this age of his career, I think he's looking to pass the torch to AD. I think he's been trying to do that for the last couple of seasons, and AD is just kind of like, maybe I'll take it. Today I want it. Today
He'll
I'm going to
never
score
be
40.
ready. He won't
Today I
be
might
ready.
not. Hopefully next season he's in MVP discussions. We'll see. I think he showed us in the playoffs. If he could replicate that in the regular season, I think we'll really start cooking. Also, Austin Reeves, the signings we made. This is not a Lakers video anyway.
Yeah.
Let me chill
This
out.
is
But
Lakers
Boo on AD.
Put Lakers in the title. Put
Boo.
Lakers in the title right now.
yeah,
I disagree with that.
That's all I
AD
needed to. That's all I need to say about the Lakers. But for him, he's just looking more to get other players on his team involved. He's not gonna give you 40 points every single game. He's not that player anymore. He doesn't have the energy to will teams to victory every
Yeah,
night.
not anymore.
He needs to get his players involved, put people in the right position. He's the smartest player in the game has ever seen. So that's what mainly he's like an on-court coach, like the best on-court coach there is right now.
Yeah.
And so he's a step slower on defense too. Like there's literally possessions
For
where he
years
just
now,
doesn't
though.
fucking get
Yeah,
back
for
on
years.
defense.
Nah, it's cap.
And the other guy that's above him literally
That's cap.
has improved that level of his game and his
Two-way
playmaking
player,
and all
yeah.
that. And not that LeBron isn't the greatest ever, but just at 40 years old, Like, he just dropped off a little. You still the second best, Bron. You know what I mean? At
You're
this
21
age.
too, right?
Yeah, you're 21, second best small forward.
Yeah.
That's not a laughing matter. That's something to be proud of. So
he's almost been in the league as long as, like, all this weird.
Let's see why
Hard to say bad
your
things.
number 2.
So this is why you guys are wrong. All right. So nah, but okay.
Say your number 2 so I can click
Obviously,
it.
I got Tatum number 2. I got LeBron number 1. All right. Not only is LeBron the best small forward, he's the best player in the league. That's it. But
this is your best opportunity to glaze this man.
all right, man. It's
Put
not
the
even
mic down, put the
glazing,
mic
yo. It's
down.
not even glazing. I have
get the loop
real
ready.
arguments.
Alright.
So look, when it comes to like Tatum and Bron, obviously when it comes, I feel like the Tatum and Bron thing is more of like, I would say I rate it the same way I rated PG and Jimmy. It's just like at this point in time, Tatum, he's doing what he's doing. Like, he is a better basketball player. You know,
He's also had more success too, though.
No, I mean more success.
No, recent years, yeah. 2 finals, or not 2 finals, conference finals.
He's been in multiple
LeBron
conference
has a chip.
finals.
Better team. His
LeBron had a
team
chip
stay
and a conference
consistent.
finals.
No, but I'm talking about recent years. Obviously, LeBron has a better career.
No, okay, well, I'm talking about just in like the last few years too.
Yeah.
Obviously, like,
Last
but
4 years.
injuries also play a big part in the Lakers' demise in those couple years. And Westbrook.
Would you say that for
But
this year though?
when it comes to like at the end of the day, like when
finish him on
LeBron was healthy, on the season itself, he averaged 30 points. If you see what he did when he came back from injury, not even fully healthy, nigga averaged like 38 in the last.
But you think he's gonna do that next season?
Nah, but it's just like he has the capability. He's the smartest player on the floor at all times. So it's like Tatum, he's a great shooter right now. I'm sure he's gonna average 30 next year. You know what I mean? Like, there's obviously not much bad you can say about him. He is a great defender. He keeps improving. But we're also not gonna sit here and act like LeBron wasn't locking up in the playoffs. He averaged 30 points on the season on his year 20. He averaged he still turned it up in the playoffs while hurt. You know what I mean? Like, if LeBron has a full season,
he can play.
if LeBron has a full season, we not. But still, like, if LeBron has a full off season, hopefully he got whatever procedures he needed. You know, hopefully he's training camp, and if barring health, I think LeBron is still the most valuable player.
No, he's definitely gonna miss games and get hurt because of his age.
Nah, you don't. But he's never.
Every player has.
He's not. But he's not
I don't even know
getting
if
ticky tack.
he'll
He's
get
not
hurt,
getting
but he's
ticky tack
definitely
injuries.
sitting at least
He'll get hurt.
No, but he's
Not
not
a
getting.
big
He's not
injury.
getting ticky tack injuries though. Niggas is falling into his legs and shit. You know what I mean? Like, he's
not
not.
last year.
With the
Solomon
foot
Hill
thing,
was like a long.
no, the foot thing. I know, but the foot thing, like, that's
age.
it was but it was not just age. That it
He
was
went for
stemming
late. That
from.
shit pop.
It was stemming from that, but
I think he'll miss more.
I think right
more
now,
games
like,
because of age this year too.
if as long as he doesn't get, like, if he rests, cool. Kawhi rests like a trillion games. Like, if he rests him, cool. If he gets injured, then that's
rest is
different.
cool.
But
Well, for
I think
LeBron, it doesn't matter if he rests.
barring health, I think that he is still the most valuable player on the floor at all times. Like, Tatum, like, you see what LeBron did in the playoffs while hurt. What did Tatum do in that series against the Heat? Like, he had a few stinker doo-doo games. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, LeBron's impact is not as big as it once was to be the best player to impact the game.
Hey,
He's
where
not.
was
Jason Tatum impacts
where'd the
game
Warriors
way more
boys
than he
go?
does.
Where the
We're not talking about the
he
Warriors.
he sent Ja home with a 40 piece. Like,
The Warriors weren't good last year.
no, but I'm saying, like, he's still produce. Like, you can say
And
take
it's
his
just
age
not
and you can
LeBron.
say, oh, I think
I'ma
he's gonna
say,
do
like-
less. But if I'm going off just his production, even in the last when he got back from injury to the end of the playoffs, you're not gonna tell me he wasn't playing like the best.
To
one of the
negate
best players in the world.
that point is because he had to do that, right? Because they
Yeah,
didn't
he-
have Anthony Davis. But when they got into the playoffs, you can easily tell that he took a lesser role. He was letting Austin Reeves cook. Some nigga was saying,
Rui.
I'm him, like at the fourth quarter.
yeah, 'cause
like,
it was nice.
Rui got the highest
Rui,
3-point percentage. in
D'Lo was having some
playoff
good games.
history.
Like,
But that shows
LeBron
off his
was just-
IQ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that
that
does show off his IQ. But his impact isn't as big as it once was. You're gonna tell me Miami Heat
also-
LeBron or Cavs LeBron's allowing that? He'll take over the whole game and let those guys cook.
He wouldn't
but
get
he'll also
swept. He
have
would
a
not get
huge
swept.
impact.
Well,
He will not
Okay,
get
yeah,
swept.
obviously,
Yeah.
but okay, look.
So, like,
if we
his impact
if we
is
took
definitely not
2012,
the
same.
if we took
pulled one
2012
game out
Braun
of
and
his
put him
ass.
on this list, they would be like.
One
Like,
A,
probably like
B,
10
C,
spots.
D.
It'd be like LeBron and then like 10 just empty spots.
Yeah, exactly.
And Tatum.
So
But
that's
it's just
why
like,
we're not
how
talking about
his
him.
impact is
Yeah.
not the same anymore. And
Okay,
these
but
players, I think
still
Tatum has a
currently-
higher impact on this team.
Let me
we
argue
can
for
agree,
Tatum.
disagree, but currently I
We
still
got-
think that LeBron is more valuable to his team and like what he can do. Obviously, like hopefully he doesn't have to,
Yeah.
but what he can do and what he showed in the end of this, end of the season run, he clearly played like he averaged like 35 something, like still almost a triple double. Like
I respect.
it's like what can you
I think
still
Omar's
say
changing my
about?
mind actually.
Oh, my
It's like what more can you say? And plus,
Here, let him talk about Tatum,
Yeah,
and then
let
your
me
mind
get
will
off
come
my
to
they
Tatum,
both,
bro.
and they both took their teams to the Western Conference Finals. You know, I mean
Yeah.
the conference finals. So
We lost to the champions.
you know, when it comes to team success, they both was right there.
I think Tatum's the best small forward in the league. Let me explain why. He's
I'll say
been
why you haven't- you
he's
said-
been
yeah,
had
Tatum at
playoff
number
success
one.
since his rookie season. He played with Kyrie Irving, and those were his worst seasons when he was the second best player on the team. Then he took over the mantle as the best player. They started making the playoffs every single season. They've been a top seed. He was an MVP candidate last season, top 5 MVP candidate, All NBA first team, 30-point per game score. Every season that they have him on the team, they're going to be a championship contender, bar none. Doesn't matter what coach they have, as long as they have him and JB, or even if they don't have JB, just a player similar comparison, similar skill set, they're going to be a championship level team. Is because of Jason Tatum, because he's one of the best scorers in the league. He's improved his playmaking to the point where they said they can trade Marcus Smart. We don't really even need a point guard. We can chill with Brogdon. We can chill with Derek White and Jason Tatum handling the ball most of the time. He's learning to round out his game. He's learning to get that mid-range game going. He's getting better at drawing fouls. He's an underrated rebounder. He's had multiple games in the playoffs where he's getting like 15 rebounds. He had the most points in a Game 7 elimination game against the 76ers. I remember watching that game. He was going fucking stupid. Yeah. Broke Steph's Curry record, who set that shit a week earlier. But yeah, he's one of those players. He's an MVP candidate. I think he will win an MVP in the next, 3 seasons, 4 seasons, barring health. And his team's going to be good as long as he's healthy, no matter who's on the team. So I think he's taking the mantle as the best small forward in the league for all those reasons that I said.
I also have Tatum at number 1 for the reasons that you said. Also, like, he gets better every single year. He always finds a way to improve his game, just like I said with BI, but it's obviously at a different level because he takes his team to the conference finals, the finals as the best player on the team, averages 30, always in the MVP conversation. He's never doing anything wrong. He's a good leader, elevates everybody on his team too.
You see what he was saying in the AAU, like, he was giving that speech. What the fuck was he saying? He's like, everybody want to score or something. And but when you get to the NBA, like, not everyone could be a scorer. You know what I mean? You got to be able to do the little things.
Also, his off court capability. I mean, this doesn't matter because they're both
say
good
LeBron's,
off court.
not gonna be LeBron off court.
But he's a good face of the league. Like I think he's probably the best face of the league for the future because there's nothing wrong that you see with him. That's a different point, but I just think Jason Tatum's the best small forward in the league because he always elevates his game. He continues to get better. Well, LeBron's decreasing, and his impact isn't as big as Tatum's is for his team.
Think he's decreasing? Think 30 points per game is decreasing?
Well, yeah,
No,
I don't think he's
LeBron's decreasing. I said LeBron is
No,
decreasing.
I'm
Well,
saying.
actually,
That's what you said. You think 30 is
Yeah.
decreasing?
He's
yeah,
gonna
he is
decrease
going to
from there.
decrease. Yeah, he's not going to average 30 next season.
I don't think he's gonna average 30 next season.
Okay, you guys
But I
changed my
think
mind.
he's more valuable.
Back to my original mind.
All right. Say who you have.
Give your
one.
final mark.
My number 1 is Jason Tatum. I don't know if I said my number 2 is LeBron. I think I did, right? Regardless.
Yeah, I think you did.
Jason
you
Tatum.
started off with LeBron.
I did, yeah. LeBron is still, he's still that guy. Just Jason Tatum is pretty. I'm saying like looser terms. Jason Tatum is just not like he's just better right now, unfortunately. But I don't even think it's that far apart. Honestly, I think it's like close. If no one else said that, I think it's close.
I mean, it is kind of close.
Like
But
for all we know, like
Tatum's
I mean,
better.
I hate being like the devil's advocate fool, but all we know is like Jason Tatum plays a little bit worse, and LeBron still like plays a little bit worse. So they're like the same again. So then we're like, oh, who's better again?
Yeah, the only
but
thing you
Jason
can-
Tatum right now after
No,
this
I
season
mean,
is
I don't.
better.
Unless Jason Tatum like has a
He's had bad
definitively
playoff
worse
games.
season. Like even if he averages less points, like he has to have like clearly a worse season.
Like if
for
he
me to rank
loses
him
and he
lower.
averages 25 points, I think that's his worst.
The thing-
That's his
the
worst.
one
I don't
bad
even
thing-
see that shit happening, to be honest.
That's why I'm playing devil's advocate.
The one bad thing I can say about Jason Tatum is that when the lights get too bright in certain series, he
That's
falls
what I'm
off.
saying. Like
The game before the game before the game
He
7.
won't be
He's
bad
also
the
has
whole
some big
series,
moments.
but yeah, he'll have big moments, but then you have like terrible games. I remember against the 76ers, he had 9 points in the third quarter.
yeah.
You show up in the fourth by having 9 and 3/4 as your best player.
There was a
is very
stat
bad.
I think they were tracking. This is random when I remember. They were like Jason Tatum is 0 like, what was it like 18 and like to trying to make was it a 3 or like a field goal in the first like 2 quarters or something. He was like scoring off free throws. Bro, I gotta find that.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. That
He
was,
takes too many
one of
threes
those games.
sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what. It's not that he's bad. He just settles for too many threes. That's when he just starts chucking up deep ones, and he can get to the rim. He can hit mid-range shots, and that's when he starts being on some bullshit.
Yeah.
And shooting like 4 for 13. It's when he's jacking threes up and not actually
That's
getting
goes to
trying to get a
mentality and
bucket.
inconsistency. Same in the finals too. Like Andrew Wiggins was cooking them 2 years ago, or he was locking him up. He actually did. He played better than him. Straight
he
up.
killed the Heat, and then he got to the finals and had a terrible series. It was like night and day.
Yeah, and they had a terrible series against Miami also. So
Do you remember this?
That's partly why I was like, it's like obviously LeBron got swept, but he was obviously injured. But throughout the playoffs,
Celtics came back down.
He was still doing everything that he possibly could to will that team to where they got.
that's why he's 2.
Yeah, he just doesn't got the legs under him anymore.
Yeah. So I have a blind rankings for small forwards.
All right, let's do it.
So it's either you or Gabe.
Let's do Gabe because he didn't do it last time.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be our last segment.
Yeah,
it is.
You want to clip it for yourself so you have it?
No, I'm just gonna add all of them together when we finish our rankings.
Okay.
So I already explained the game last week, so we can get into now. You can see the list, so you know I'm not lying. Omari,
I believe you. It's cool.
See the list, so Gabe knows I'm not lying.
Bro, I'm about to go 5 for 5 right now, baby. Are you all ready? I'm about to go 5 for 5.
Yeah.
It's 5, right?
Yeah, 5 players.
Okay.
So first player I'm gonna say is Jeremy Grant.
1. No, I'm just kidding.
4.
All right. Kyle Anderson.
5.
I just seen this list, bro. You're a hoe for this list, man. I can't believe it.
Sam Hauser.
Give it up. Why, bro?
That's
Keep
so
going,
crazy.
Sam Hauser.
I'm gonna say 3. I'm gonna say 3.
Sadiq Bey.
Bro, I can only go up 2. No, but Sadiq Bey is 2 on this list.
Derrick Jones.
He doesn't even have a job right now. It was a free agency.
Was
That's
that a fake
crazy.
one? Was that a fake one?
No.
You didn't give me a chance, bro. That's fine though, I guess.
I made the list too easy
I know.
last time. So
Too easy?
No, I'm
give you
just
one.
nice.
I'm
He's got that. Nigga, come on.
Or you can give
I'm
me
nice.
one then. I made the list too easy for the last
Dog,
one.
I'm like, if I put Jeremy Grant any higher, it's gonna be bad.
Because the small forward is like, you're either really good or really
You didn't even say a top 10.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I wanted to make it difficult.
All right, you ready, Gabe? I'm gonna give
I'm
you
ready.
a good
I'm ready.
list.
Round two. Let's get it.
Chris Middleton,
4,
Bojan Bogdanovic,
3,
Scotty Barnes,
5,
Keldon Johnson,
Wah, wah, wah.
2,
Brandon Ingram.
1.
What was your list? Do
It
you
was
remember?
Bi, Keldon,
Bogdan.
Bogdan,
Chris
Middleton.
Middleton.
Is my 5?
Scotty Barnes.
Dude, I got a W. 5 for 5 locks.
No.
Omari, look at the list. Omari, look at the list.
Why did you put
Johnson's
Bojan over
better
Chris
than Bojan?
Middleton?
Yeah,
Keldon's
no
better
way.
than Middleton right now. In a better year.
And
Like, what?
Bogdan?
That's
Isn't
crazy.
Bogdan like a 20-point per game player right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. This
He
list
is.
is fine.
Catch and shoot.
Valid.
I'll give him 4 out of 5.
This list is valid.
I'll give you 4 out of 5
Yo,
because
chat,
I think
not
Bogdan's
chat,
better.
Comments.
Comments, let me know. 5 for 5, right?
See, that's why it's hard because it's closer. That's why I gave him
I
like,
think
a harder
Middleton's
list.
trash.
Well,
Trash. I'm sorry, I take that
Hey
back.
man, he's a 3-time All-Star, man.
you got to make sure that there's no
And
controversy on
Bojan's
the list.
older than fucking Middleton, so if you think he's gonna drop off, then so will Bojan.
He's been pretty good for the last couple of seasons.
All right, he just stands and shoots.
All right,
Yeah.
it's a good episode today. I feel
Yeah.
like we talked about a good amount.
That's all we got for today's episode of Ball Don't Lie. Drop your rankings in the comments. This was a hard video to
Yeah.
do rankings on because I think there's a lot of good small forwards, and I think, like I said, Franz Wagner. I left the Wiggins off, but I think if he has a good season, he could hop back into my list. So this is definitely up in the air, and I think the power forward and not the power forward, the center ranking is going to be the same. There's a lot of centers that are iffy, except
Our forward
obviously
is going to be
top
tough too, I think.
three. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna make the pool for it
It's like
so we
3
get
of
everything
each.
clear.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
Yo, we're almost at 700 subs, guys. We're like 14 away.
we need 300 more subs, yo. Let's run it up to
Let's
go.
1K,
Sub up.
baby.
Sub up now.
1K before next season starts for the
Please.
NBA.
Yeah. Let's get to
yeah.
it.
Try to
Yeah,
get
we
that.
can do that.
Let's do it before
Come on,
the
yo.
NBA season. We
Yes,
about
sir.
to go crazy, and we're gonna have some special cinematic backgrounds for the next episode. That's all I'm gonna say.
We're getting
Not
better.
too
We
many more.
upgrading out of here. Let's go.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Drop a like, drop a sub, drop your list, and we'll see y'all next time.
Yes, sir.
Peace.